morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Wake Up Sprints this Sunday morning. Hope you're having a good day thus far and everything's all spiffy. Well, I hope that we are going to have a good morning. Wake up, take a nice deep breath, and let's see who popped in. Look at that. We got Miss Kiana up in the house here. If I don't know. These look all weird. There we go. There we go.
Hey.
And look who we got. We got Miss Lachette. Hello, hello, hello. How are y'all doing? Good, good. It's early morning, y'all. I'm still waking up. I ain't even had any tea, so you don't know what's gonna come out of my mouth here, okay? Why don't y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves for anybody that may not know?
You go first.
Oh, okay. I'm Lachette. My channel is Scarlet Moon Creations, and book-wise, I guess mostly fantasy and romance. Also, I know I've been away. I haven't posted anything in weeks, but personal things. But I'll be back shortly with new videos. So.
Yay! I saw you did a little Robin Hobb
Oh yeah,
book
read along.
discussion. I popped in and
Yeah.
out because I ain't messed with them thick books yet.
And it's a long series. I don't know if you ever will. But yeah, we're doing the Rainwild Chronicles right now. A read along.
How many books is that?
4 books, and actually these are the shortest in the whole realm of the Elderling series.
Mm-hmm.
This is the 4th. Well, everything else is a trilogy, so this is the 4th set of books in the whole thing. And I don't know if I'm gonna finish. I don't love them like I do the 5th book. So
See, the two things I hear about Robin Hobb whenever anybody posts a review for the books is they always say the books are thick, which you can see, and they say it's long-winded and it doesn't have to be that long. Oh, I don't think she's getting a hit.
well, it depends. I mean, for hardcore fantasy people, she's one of the top and one of the few women. So there's
That's
that.
true.
But she's a good writer. If you don't, I mean, fantasy in general tends to be long-winded with the world building, and if there's politics or if there's magic systems, like they gotta explain. Not like contemporary stuff where you live a contemporary life, so you already know that.
They got to get me in 400 pages or less. No, I've seen some that are good and some are great. But no, yeah, I've heard good things about her writing. People just talk about the length of it. So very popular. What about you, Miss Kiana?
I'm Kiana. My channel is Shexy Lady. I read pretty much anything. Um, I've been trying to get into fantasy. But yeah, those books are long, and sometimes I don't always. I'm almost done with Warbreaker by
Oh,
Sanderson, and it's good. It's just I'm like I'm like 70% in, and I still have like 200 pages, and I'm like,
You look at the numbers and you get scared. You're like, am I gonna be done ever?
I'm like, how do you
I
have so
don't,
much story left? Like,
I don't look at the numbers. Maybe that's what it is. I'm just
okay,
like, I'm a
maybe
long
that's what it is. Just ignore the number, but I like pretty much anything except for I don't really like anything too dark or too like gruesome or anything. A little murder is fine, but I don't need I don't need nothing too bad. A little
A
murder.
little murder is just
A little
fine.
murder, not a lot, just a little.
Quote by Kiana.
Next month is Horror Mayhem. Who's hosting? I have no idea, but I know it's about horror, and I'm looking forward to a lot of murder. See what happens. Throw it all out there. Don't know what yet, but it's gonna happen. It's been a minute. Yeah, yeah. Fantasy books can,
just a,
there's some good ones out there, but everybody writes different. So I just feel
Mhm.
like when I'm in a long book, I'm like, I've been here a minute. And, I think I get FOMO with all the other books people talk about. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I
That's
want to get to that.
it.
And if I'm reading, I'm like, okay, got to be wrapping up. And that's when
Yeah,
I start looking at the numbers because I don't look at it initially. I'm like, we got to be wrapping up. We've been on this book for like 4 days. That's a lot for us book people, 4 days.
because you're like, I could have finished two books in the time, and like, I haven't. You don't feel the progress. I know it's not about numbers,
Oh yeah.
but don't you feel good when you finish one and you're like,
Yeah.
but I've been on this one for a long time and it's not done.
Hey, this too shall pass. Keep it up. If it's a good story and you're vested in it and it's meant for you, you
Hmm.
will stick with it, well, no matter the length. But I know myself. That's the only thing.
So I ain't gonna set
Know
myself
yourself. Know
up.
yourself as a reader.
Yeah. Oh, let's see who's in the chats here. Hello, Miss Julie. Okay, Capricia, how you doing this morning? Hey, Miss Jaleesa, what's going on in your life? Julie goes just a little murder.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, Vanessa. Hello, hello, hello. Running some errands. Okay, that's cool. Boop the like button. I'm all for that. If you're on the chats, make sure to do that. Kiana said, give me a little stabby, stabby,
Just a
but don't
little
get too
stabby stabby.
crazy. You might like YA horror type things then. I
I
think
like
that may
the
be your jam.
like cozy mystery. It's a murder. It's
Mhm.
always usually a murder, but
Yeah,
it's usually somebody who's unlikable. So it's
yeah.
like, okay,
They
nobody.
needed to be gone anyway.
Yeah. So
I feel like that
that's
was
what I'm
fitting.
talking about. Okay, get rid of them.
That's always fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think when somebody you may like, it's murder, but it's not. It's kind of off stage a little bit. But Kaylin
Hmm.
Barron writes pretty good. It's
Caitlin Bay.
why. Yeah, she writes. Oh my god, I always forget the book. Not what I wasn't supposed to die. Somebody.
Oh, okay, that's a
Let
new
me see.
one.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I don't have it on my list here. I think because I read it the other.
I'm not dying
You're
tonight.
not supposed to die tonight or
Yeah, you're
something.
not supposed to die tonight. Yeah, and then
Okay.
there's another book that she wrote that somebody was talking about yesterday. I forgot what it was. Had a really good premise of it, but yeah, I think YA horror will be your good. They do a pretty good job. Put a little bit more onto it than the cozies, but still a good time, that type
Hmm.
thing. So I'm trying to
Like,
see
I
what.
think I could do slasher horror.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of horror
Yeah.
in any medium. I don't think being scared or creeped out or all that is fun or entertaining.
Yeah.
Not your thing. You're
Like,
like, nope, nope, nope.
I don't, no thanks.
Yeah.
And if I'm not, then why am I doing that?
Yeah, that's true. See, that's the thing. That's what I like is that I can't find it. I'm trying to find that. Like I said, I didn't take a screenshot. But yeah, you got to find what speaks to your jam, and that's what's good about books is that it's like TVs. There's like so much, so you can
Yeah.
just be like. The only thing about books is that you can somehow get like really invested if you don't really read the synopsis too much,
Hmm.
or that synopsis on the cover don't really do justice to the book. Then you get invested for, it takes longer. You're like, dang, whereas a movie, you can kind of click off real quick. With a book, you think twice, at least I do, about DNFing when I find something problematic because I didn't commit it 50 pages, 100 pages. That's some time. It's like, hold up.
So,
Am I going to see this through? Do I have the wherewithal to see this
yeah.
through? Versus a movie, click off.
I like my murder in true crime form. I like
Um,
true crime, but I don't like my murder in my books.
I love some true crime. I'm telling you, I never would have thought that would be a true crime junkie. But yep, love it,
Hmm.
love it, love it.
Hmm.
Jaleesa says, reading a slasher today, Cirque Berserk by Jessica Gase. I
ooh,
want to read this book. Let me check again.
I
I'm
have
gonna
my
check to
thing here. I'm gonna
see.
look it up because that looks interesting.
Yeah, well, I heard
Even
about it a
though it's
while
murder.
back, but my library doesn't have it. But I keep checking because they get books last minute, so you never
yeah.
know. Today could be the day. So I'm always checking every time she mentions this. Let's see.
I do like slasher movies. I haven't really tried a slasher book.
Oh no, I'm not. Mm-mm. I don't
So
do clowns. Nope.
yeah, I was about to ask, is this book Circus, is it like in a circus
Oh
or
no, I'm
Yeah, we
not.
don't have it yet. Yeah, I was like, oh no,
You let
no,
me know
no.
how that goes. I do not do clowns.
She's
Ooh,
like,
no.
I DNF before I even got the book. Yeah, they'll
Told y'all I
DNF
DNF
all day.
fast. I'm DNFing on the cover.
Yep. Okay. Well, library ain't coming through with that yet. I'm gonna let you know, Jaleesa, when it comes through. Oh, speaking of coming through, y'all. Ooh, ooh, ooh! Look at this! Look at this! Hey, we got Kita in
Hey,
the house.
hi
Hello,
everybody.
Missy Lady. Good morning, morning, morning.
Tired.
I know
Um,
the sun
It's
ain't even up.
like six. No,
yeah.
it's
I
almost seven
forgot.
over here. It's
Mm.
almost
Oh,
7.
Oh.
almost. Oh, you're 2 hours behind then. Okay, okay. Well,
Mm-hmm.
welcome for getting up.
Thank
Yay,
you.
Chloe.
Thank you.
If it wasn't for this, I would still be in bed, y'all. Because I've been telling
I
myself the last
was.
hour, I can get up and work out. I can get up and work out. Then I know.
Yeah.
Once
No.
I finish making my breakfast, I'm going back to the bed. I'm reading in bed.
Hey, that's a good idea. If my husband wasn't in bed, I would be in bed too. I would call this um, trying to wake up sprints in bed.
Oh my God. Yeah. For real.
Well, why don't you
Mhm.
introduce yourself for those in the chat who have not graced themselves with your presence yet?
Sure. Yeah. So my booktube channel is The Resistance. My name is Keita.
Oh.
I do read a lot of Star Wars, but for right now, I'm reading Star Wars in between, but I read a lot of like POC authors at this time. And right now, I'm just on a whole fantasy journey this year. So I'm just reading a lot of fantasy books this year. So,
Oh.
which is
Oh,
enjoyable.
I need to get
Mhm.
on your channel when you post some recs or something for Black Fantasy because I'm all for
My God.
it.
I And it's crazy because like just getting back into the reading, I'm like, oh my God, I never heard of any of these authors. And then now I'm like, okay, I know who you are now. I know who you are. I've seen your stuff. Okay. But I try not to read a lot of like the overhyped popular books of the authors. I
Mhm.
read something else to get me introduced to the author, if that makes sense.
Oh, that makes
So
sense.
that way I can get an understanding their writing and what they're trying to do. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. So far I'm trying to finish up NK Jemison's back work and a few others that I have on my list. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's the thing. When I first got on BookTube, I got introduced to all these, especially POC authors. I mean, authors in
Mhm.
general, because there was a lot of books floating around I'd never heard of. But especially, I saw a lot of POC authors weren't getting like much traction on them. You see a whole
No.
lot more, but yeah, I'm not for overhyped, hype stuff. I mean, I'll read some, but it's like there has to be some other authors we talk about. So I do stem for them too. NK, I think she has had, I'm assuming you've read this too, right? Already? Yeah. So she has had her due. So hype needed, okay? But a lot of these authors have really great books. So I'm not like doubting that. It's just that when something has too much going on, I'm like, okay, everybody else has already read that. Let's get somebody that
Mm.
maybe hasn't had so much publicity for them and let's see if we can hype them up, that type thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So I read The Broken Earth, I read The Inheritance,
Mhm.
and How Long Till Black Future Month.
mhm.
And she has so many, but
Yes.
yeah. So I think I'll stop where I'm at right. Oh, and the city we become, city we
Okay.
make,
Yep. Mhm.
city we become. Yeah,
Yeah, and then there's a duology with that.
yeah. So
See,
I
you
just
missed out
finished.
on last year. I participated. I failed miserably. I got about three-fourths of the way. The Curious Owl hosted a N.K. Jemisin year-long readathon where
Oh,
every
really?
month you read a work or two, but mostly one book of hers. And that was pretty interesting. That's how I read the Broken Earth trilogy. Um,
Hmm.
I enjoy N.K. Jemison's writing. I don't think it's as action packed in your face like my style of writing, but she writes amazingly. But I did, hey Kitty, but I did enjoy the Broken Earth, and then I got to the Inheritance, and I read the first two books, and I was like, I'm just not vested So it just doesn't, it wasn't for me. And I did read How Long Till Black Future Month too. That's a good representation to start with, I think, of a lot of her works. So
Yes.
that you can, when you do read the rest of her books, and you're like, oh, I remember that short story, that type thing. So, but yeah, yeah, but she's a goodie right there.
Yeah, the How
Bring
Long
it
Till Black Future Month. I love that one
up.
because I when I read the Broken Earth trilogy and then I dived into that one, I was like, okay, this is making sense. It's like an original demo
Yeah,
of all of her works, and I was like, okay, this is actually really good. Yeah, I
yeah.
really loved it.
You kind of see where that came from. Yes, I completely
Mhm.
agree. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
enjoy her stuff, but just not. I just don't think she's the author for me. Like my go-to when I'm like, I want an author, but the goody time. Kiana, didn't you delve into it and you were like, no, not for you? Or was that somebody else?
I was what was that one I was trying to listen to? I got confused. I think it was a anthology of stories. I can't remember.
Oh, with the girl like on the front with the white thing in her hair.
I think so. I think I was. I don't remember. I was listening to it, but I think I need to read it in a
Yeah.
physical book because I was confused. Um, but yeah, I
Sometimes
think.
that can determine your enjoyment of whether you're listening to it or not. So, but yeah, yeah, she's okay. She's okay. Let's see where we at in the chats here. Okay, Jaleesa says her book, Cirque Berserk opens with a slashing in a fun house, a room with mirrors, no wasting time. I like a book that gets right into the action. We're talking about Cirque Berserk, Kita. But yeah, get right to the action. Let us know. Hey, look, people it's about to get it. Nothing wrong with that. I'm nosy. Lachette, what are you making? She's already out there. She is making her breakfast. That's what I'm doing for. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I heard my name while I'm trying to set up my camera. What am I? A muffin. I was just toasting it in the broiler real quick.
Mm,
I'll during the first sprint probably go back and make some eggs.
okay.
There you
But
go. Get the food on.
I felt kind of ridiculous because when we started, I had the oven on and I just had to turn the broiler on, but instead I turned the whole thing off. And I'm like, why is my muffin not toasting? What is going on? There's no heat. The butter's not melting. Just, but
You
yeah.
gotta definitely keep that one
Um,
on. Oh god, I have to yawn. See, hence the wake up, y'all. I made these frittatas the other day. Like when I get really lazy sometimes, I don't know. I call it meal prep. So it's not really laziness, but breakfast I try to simplify because there's so much other good stuff I want to eat throughout the day. So I'll
mhm.
do these breakfast bowls and I'll put them into like 8 microwave bowls and put them in the fridge so that if me and my husband wants breakfast for the week, you can just grab one. It's really quick for like if you're about to go to have breakfast. Like if you're on a go, if you get up really early. But you know, I do like eggs. What do I do? I mix together eggs. I try to put vegetables. So I'll put like green beans in it, um, bacon or sausage, like some sort of meat. What else did I put in it this time? Or I put corn this time, which I never do. But it made the difference. I'm glad I did. And then I put a little bit of cheese and then I bake it in the oven. And then once it cools, I cut it into like 8 squares and put them in the bowls in the microwave. And so I have my ready-made frittata. So breakfast is very simple. I have that with a piece of fruit and call it a day. And depending on what vegetable, I'll kind of mix it up. I used to not add in like a carb to it because I'm trying to do a lower carb, but I was used to not add in a carb, and then just have like make quinoa or something or grits or something and put it on the side, and put that like in the bottom of the bowl. But adding corn just allows me not to have to do that extra step. But it's really good. And then when you take it out, you put it in the microwave for like a minute, sprinkle a little cheese trees on top, and then you just break it up, and it's almost like a little omelet.
It sounds good.
Yeah,
I just
really simple. I got the idea of somebody on TikTok when they were doing meal prep. They're like, we don't have time to be making eggs every day.
Hmm.
So it's like,
I said
okay. That's
I
really
said
good for
it's
big families. This lady had like 8 people in her family, and she was like, no, I just do breakfast in the morning. Um, Um,
Mm.
like once a week in the big casserole dish. Pretty cool. Hey, Kiana. Not Kiana. Kitty. Hello, Kitty. How you doing, Miss Lady?
She just woke up.
Say again.
I said she just woke up.
Oh,
So
yeah.
mhm.
Hey, I understand. Capricia says, I love Star Wars and fantasy. I didn't realize Star Wars was a book until I joined BookTube. Those little small books, right?
Yeah,
I didn't
there's a
even
million
realize
of
that.
them.
And there's a lot of them too, right?
So many.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Mhm.
so just now. Wait, it's books?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
like literally like over probably like over 500.
Oh,
It's not the
wow.
same authors.
It's all by different authors. Even the authors that y'all are reading right now, they all contribute to Star Wars.
Yep. Get their part of their little backlist. Hopefully
Hmm
they got some credits up in
Huh.
there. And then George Lucas, I guess, just
I've
ran with
never
it from
seen
there.
the original
He was
one.
like, let me go ahead and get some money off of these little books.
hmm Yeah.
Starting mystery. I'm starting my fantasy. Hold up. I'm starting mystery, my fantasy. I'm reading Sarah J. Maas. I've heard about those as well. Sarah J. Maas, Armitraught, Colleen Hoover were the big names. Look at Keita. When I first got on
She's like, nope.
BookTube.
Uh,
I just DNF Akatar. Like I can't get
I
into it.
mean, of all of Sarah J.
That's the
Maas's
one I
books,
have.
definitely
You
understand that.
DNF'd it.
Like I cannot wait to get rid of those books. Like literally, they're driving me crazy. Hmm
I wanted to see what the hype was. I have Akatar. I kind of started it, but I haven't finished. I wanted to see what the hype was. So I only about the one.
You should just watch the video. I was just like I can't. Like I don't know.
I'm gonna
That's
check
what
it.
I did. That's what I did with the whole Akatar and stuff. Because when I first came in, I'm like, everybody's talking about these books. Like, the Evelyn Hugo book was another one I heard about, and I was just like, okay, I'm already behind. Everybody's doing all these really creative videos and all this stuff, and I'm
Mhm.
just like, these books are long as heck, mind you. And then I'm trying to come from behind and read these to keep up with the Joneses. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna not. And so that's what I
Yeah.
decided to do. And then, I started hitting, like, started getting into, BIPOC authors. And I was just like, none of us are even on this big hype list. And so then I was like, I'm drawing my line in the sand a little
Mm.
bit with some of these overhyped things, But the only
Mhm.
person
Yeah.
that was of color that was hyped and not even overhyped, just hyped in some circles, was N.K. Jemisin with the Broken Earth
Mhm.
trilogy, and only that series. Other than that, you didn't hear about. That's why I was like, hold up, I need to add a little bit more diversity to the mix. So that's why I read more diverse
Yeah.
authors. So maybe some of that will catch on. Like, I'm not
And
opposed to the other books,
Yeah.
but like
mhm.
Colleen Hoover, I read one of her books.
Well,
But if somebody's overhyped, I'm just like, I'm already behind. Let me just try something new. But I did enjoy Verity a lot.
mm,
I have Verity, but that's the only
I
one
read
I
that,
have.
and I think I read Layla like years ago and didn't know it because it sounds very familiar, but I'm not trying to reread it to find out. I read like 4 pages, and I was like, I think I've read this, and I was just like, I'm done. But I enjoyed Verity. So, I
mm.
mean, people say a lot of stuff about Coho, and to each his own, but I enjoyed the book. I gave it 5 stars. I don't have anything, but I'm not trying to go back and read it.
I was at Target yesterday looking for. I was looking for what is it? It could Kennedy Ryan's book. Was it? It could be us. I was looking for it, and it was just Coho. It was just. I was like, enough. Yeah, they didn't have it, so I had to end up
She's popping
ordering
out a
it.
few
It
books
should
a
be here
year.
soon.
But I will say Kennedy Ryan is getting really good hype. Not to the extent as those
Mhm.
other authors, but Before I Let Go and then the new one, really good hype. So I'm excited that we have somebody else in the mix. And this is across like everybody, not just certain circles that are reading that book. Now, it's not
Speaking.
necessarily my genre. Like if I
Mhm.
read something outside of my genre, it needs to be a little bit shorter, but I'm watching everybody's videos, just like Ekotar. I'm watching everybody's looking for spoiler videos so that I can see what the hype about, but don't have to read it myself.
Speaking of the Kennedy Ryan, I just put up my video of all the books that I read from her.
Oh,
So I
Oh,
got
okay.
that coming tomorrow.
Go
Hmm
ahead and write that down.
But
I
that,
also I wanted to get into her, but my library as well doesn't have many
re-
of her books. I
so
basically
request it.
only read.
Request it.
Yeah, I will. I don't know where to start. She does have a lot of books, and I'm just like, what
I'll
do
just pick
you request?
whatever.
But
Because I
I
didn't,
just
I
go
knew,
into one.
because I figured out that there wasn't any of her books at my library. So I just went ahead and said, you know what? Let me just request the Keymaker and get that in there. So when I did, I
Did
really didn't think too much of it. They gave it to me in such a short time. And then I swear to you, it's not like I was there to read it. I was just there requesting it. Okay. So it was in my home
Hmm.
and I said I'll get to it whenever. And then lo and behold, somebody put a hold on it on one of the books. And I
yeah,
say, you see what happens? So I just went ahead, send
yeah,
it on back. Go ahead, have it. This is what we're supposed to be doing. You're
yeah,
supposed to get these books in. I'm going to request more of her
Hmm.
books, and I'm also in the process of trying to get a lot of self-published authors their
yeah.
books into the library.
That's what I've been doing. Cause like I said, I only use the library. I was surprised. I'm in New York City. If you guys don't know,
Oh, you
and
got a
yeah,
wealth.
New York Public Library pretty much usually has everything. And then there's two other libraries in the city, Brooklyn and Queens Library, which are separate from NYPL. So there's like three of her books in all three libraries, and I'm like, that's weird. So, but
Maybe
Yeah.
I did grab one. Maybe I should read that.
the Grand Army Plaza don't have it.
They might have the recent ones, and
Okay.
that's because I think it just came out, and probably other people have requested it.
And
And
then the one in Queens, that because the one in Queens, that one in the Grand Army Plaza, I was always there religiously. So the one on the one that's off the strip off Jamaica Ave, they
okay,
don't have her books there either. That
I
particular
don't
library.
know. Like, so I live in the Bronx, so I'm not going all the way to
Oh,
Brooklyn
oh, okay.
unless the book is there ready for me to pick up. But when I look through the catalog online, just searching by her name, like only the most recent one came out, and I'm like, that's the second in a duology, right? So
Hmm
I'm like, I want to read the first one first, at least.
hmm
So yeah, I'll put in requests, but I do have one here
Them
that
libraries be
the
coming through
local
sometimes.
library had. I was like, oh, what is this? I just was looking at the shelves and I saw it and I was like, one shot, I think it is. I have to get up and go get it.
So that's that hockey one, right? Yeah, the libraries be coming through, and like you were saying, Keita, yeah, they don't have it. You'd be surprised what they'll actually order for you. Now, I know some libraries get more funding than others, so if you're blessed to have a really good library,
Yeah,
take advantage of it, and especially if you have a library where they don't have, a lot of books that have diversity, then request them. Check them out. Even if I say this, even if you don't read them, because I'm big for checking out a bunch of books and maybe not reading them, but I'm going to keep them for at least 2 weeks so they know that there's demand for them. There,
That's right.
there's been some books that I've checked out 2 or 3 times and I kept renewing it and I still didn't read it, for one reason or another.
Hmm.
But I'm just saying that check them out and let them know. Like, I find the most diversity in my neighborhood is at the library, which is shocking. I'm like, where these people come from? They don't live near me. I don't even see these people on the streets. But at the library, it's like United Nations in there. So that is the reason why we have such great diversity at my library. And I didn't realize that until I started going to the library. And I was wondering why in the world I'm getting able to get all these books that people are requesting when I don't see these people in my neighborhood. But we're funded very well. New Jersey Taxi is at its best. So I'm glad that I'm getting some out of it. But yeah, but they will actually, like, I've had two books that I have actually requested that they didn't have come through at some point. So, and that's in person and also like on the Libby too. So don't sleep on that as well. Patterson, okay. He's back in the day. I don't give him any hype. Ann Cleves. I never heard of Ann Cleves. Y'all know that name? I don't know Ann Cleves. Hello, Mr. Paul. Hello, how you doing? Paul is in South Carolina, enjoying some warm weather. Capricia says, I read manga and graphic novels, middle grade and young adult. Oh, you read a lot of stuff. I like that. Yeah, I read all over the place too. Not as much in middle grade, but I'll pick one up every now and then. I love a good graphic novel. I didn't know anything about graphic novels till BookTube, and now I'm all over it. Every month I'm going to read some graphic novels. But manga, I haven't really delved into manga. Do y'all like manga?
I love manga, but Courtney, it's long series, but they're short. They're much shorter books.
They're graphic, but that's the thing, though. See, that's the thing. I can
graphic
do.
novels are not. They're usually one individual volume.
Yeah.
If there's a series, maybe 2 or 3, but manga are definitely like 15 plus. So good luck for the
As long as they're all out.
Okay. As long as they're all out.
They might not be translated to English.
Okay, that's why I draw the line right there. I gotta understand it.
Comic books, but from Japan, and comic books will do that too. Like they update as they go, and comic books may never end. They just get
that's true.
new artists. So manga usually stays the same. The mangaka, the person who creates it, is usually the artist and the writer.
Ooh.
And so not always 100% of the time, but most of the time it's the same person. And they may or may not have a plan. So
just figuring out as they go, right?
Yeah. If it gets popular, it will be bound up into the volumes we see. But if not, they all start out serialized in like magazines.
Do they do that bam like for action? You know how American comic books are like bam, pow. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, that's an American thing.
Yeah,
They
I
have
hate that.
other sounds. I mean, it's originally Japanese, so
Yeah, they all do that. Yeah, see, that was my issue with comics. That's why I like graphic. Like, I don't like superhero comic things like that. I want like an actual story type thing.
Y'all making me want coffee. Let me give me some coffee.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a sprint
Herbal
soon. We
tea.
have lovely Kenny here. Hello, Miss Lady.
What to do? What to do? Y'all, what's doing?
How are you doing today?
I'm trying. I'm in a fight with a migraine right now. I'm winning, but it's still trying. It's trying.
Well, if you have to mute or go off or something to go beat that migraine up, you go right ahead, okay? Hopefully that tea or coffee or whatnot kind of helps it out. Drink plenty of water.
Yeah. Herbal tea.
There we go. Yeah, I'm missing my tea right now. I'm getting a headache here. Well, introduce yourself for anybody who does not know yourself, which should. If y'all don't know Kenny, y'all need to rectify that. By the way, all of these people on TV here have BookTube channels, so make sure y'all go check them out and hit a SUBSCRIBE. Did I spell that right? SUSCRIBE. Yeah, yeah. Okay. American school system. Okay, go ahead, Kenny.
I'm Kenny. How you doing? What's up? I mostly read horror, thrillers. I read everything. I shouldn't read everything, but I read everything. There's like 2 books that I don't mess with. It's too much. But I'm from Books in the Void. I upload sometimes, maybe when I feel like it.
I want to know what you don't mess with now. Oh, and I
Yeah.
just realized I spelled that wrong. Subscribe. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, 120 Days of Sodom. Don't mess with it. If I read your Wikipedia page and have a trigger response, I'm not messing with your book.
Well, I've
Mm.
heard of that book, but I haven't read it. I've heard weird things about it. All right,
The
what
other
about?
one I already read, and you know this one, Courtney. Her. Um,
Oh my god! So, funny story about her. Her is basically this book that Kenny and we did like a book and a snack swap video a while back. Totally crazy. I think mine was a fail, but the book was just long and boring about motherhood and whatnot. But it's funny because I have a YouTube short or a short that I'm going to post about that. It's on my phone. I just haven't queued it or whatnot. But I went to the library, right? And it was, you know how sometimes you go to the library and they have a wall of like books they're promoting or whatnot? And I saw the book and I was like, oh, me and Kenny read this book. And I flipped it open. And you know how, well, with me, when I write notes for, like, if there's going to be a book discussion or our book that I'm going to do something more in depth on my video, I take more notes. So I had on the inside cover, I had a little sticky note or a big sticky note, kind of like this, like a long post-it note or whatever. And I opened the book and my note was still there. And I was like, this was 6 months ago. Why in the world?
Nobody's checked it out.
I know nobody's checking out. I'm like, oh,
Right.
I need to
There's
start
no
writing.
point reading her. The author basically calls you an idiot for reading this book. And if you don't like the characters in this book, then you're dumb. And she uses one of the characters to say that. Like, what's the point?
Oh.
You just wasted my time. You should have just wrote that on the first page.
Oh.
Don't read this. The
Yeah.
characters aren't going to listen to you. You're wasting your time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it
Well,
was an interesting book.
I guess maybe some people think that,
It's a very slow burn.
but other people might have read it and just left your post-it note. I have done that with some books. I feel bad when I come across somebody's notes, or sometimes it has nothing to do with the book, a bookmark or like note cards and things like that. I leave them in. Like maybe they'll remember that's where they forgot it and come back later. So I'm sure I'm not alone in that. I hope I'm not alone.
Hopefully, you
I
don't leave
actually,
something that you really need. What's
I
that?
actually bought a book recently, secondhand, because it's theology month, so I read mostly Christian fiction in April.
Mm.
And I got a little note. It's not from me. It's from some for me. It's for somebody else, but it's from
Mhm.
Ohio, and it's basically talking about how good this book is and how it helped her fulfill helped her strengthen and consider her own life and its purpose fulfillment in God's plan and
Oh, that's
stuff like that.
Wow.
awesome.
So it was nice to open
That's
that
cool.
book secondhand and get it. It
That
was,
is cool. I mean, better if it was from the author instead of somebody vandalizing a book, but it was theirs at the time and it was meant to inspire you
Right.
versus somebody sticky notes talking about, like imagine if somebody left a love note or something and that wasn't pertaining to the book or a grocery list or something.
I mean, the little things you hints you get at the rest of humanity when you get library books or secondhand books. You get a
That's
glimpse of
true.
someone else's life. I know people do
Mm-hmm.
that on purpose for like uh journals, I guess,
Yeah.
where they set up like a traveling journal and everybody leaves a note.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I
That is
think I've
cool.
heard of people do that with books, but it's like within a certain circle, like you can sign up to be part of it and everybody will leave a note in the book somewhere about what they thought, maybe about the book as a whole, or uh, what they think you might enjoy or a certain part. But
why
I've
did
heard
you
people
I,
say
say
it's
that
called
too.
book crossing. It's a
Yeah,
thing called book
yeah.
crossing where if you like you could you have to go in and log in the book that you want to get rid of, and then it'll give you a number. You put the number in it, and you can like just leave it somewhere, like on a table, like in a cafe or on the I don't know bus stop or something. And the next person who picks it up when they find it, they can put that number in, and it'll show like the book's journey, like all around the world and stuff.
Ooh,
And
That's what the dollar bills, that Where's George? There's a site. I got a dollar the other day, well, a few months ago, where it's like that with the site, and you go input the number, and then you can input your email address so you can track, like, hey, be notified where this pops up
the
at and
dollar.
stuff.
Where's
yeah.
George?
It's,
I think that's what it's called.
yeah,
Where's
Where's George?
George?
Yep. Yeah.
With the dollar.
It's
I'm
funny you're talking about
still,
notes of humanity. That's better to have the little note or something than like other things that people leave in books, like sticky stuff or whatever. You had a book and pages are stuck together and things like that. You're like, oh, that's not exactly what remnant I wanted from you from this book.
listen, things happen. I had a library book and it was new, not super popular, which is why I feel bad.
Mhm.
But like I kept it really pristine, which is difficult for me. But the day I was gonna bring it in, I kind of like spilled water on it, and so the pages got wavy, and I was like, oh shit, please, I don't need these pages to be stuck together and this to be unreadable. So I was trying to like separate them while it was still wet so it could dry and not literally get stuck together. Because I've had that happen with my own books, and then if you let it dry and try to peel it apart, it rips, or the ink gets transferred from one page to another. But things happen. Okay.
They do, they
But
do. That's the
I'm
risk you
grateful
take.
for library books. I'm like, look, I don't do it on purpose, but sometimes stuff shit happens. Thankfully, it was water, but yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Paul says need to read today, mainly studied scriptures. Hey, that's productivity right there, and it's reading. Butterflies and Books said currently listening to Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty and reading some manga.
Mhm.
Hello, Miss Nicole. How are you doing? Lovely panel of readers. We try, we try. Paul Chatty, say hello to the chat. I didn't see Chatty. Chatty people. Oh, I was thinking you was talking about Charlotte. Okay. Paul says hello. Hello, Yipma. How are you doing today? How's the greenery? Hey, y'all ready to do a spritz? Yay. Okay, I got 45. I want to do 45 minutes or an hour.
Let's do 45.
45? Okay, good, because I already got one queued. That's even better. Okay, 45 minutes, y'all. Oop. Oh, man. Let me see. This might be better.
Oh,
There we
that's
go. That's better. Okay, y'all. See y'all in 45. Happy reading. Hello, 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 hello. We have gained another individual. How are you doing? How did y'all
I'm
reading
okay.
go? Just trying to make sure everybody's off here. We are a full house, and I think I might have invited one or two other people, so we'll see.
Yes.
We have up to 6 on this stream. Let's see, I'm just gonna set up for the next sprint. Hopefully we do it. Okay. Oh, hold up. Let me see. Trying to figure out how to arrange us over here. No, I don't like that setup. Where is?
Top.
There we go. That's the best one. Okay. How did your reading go?
Good.
Anybody finish a book? I know it's early yet, but you never know.
I'm 100 pages from finishing.
All right, what's your book again?
Okay.
Christ the Lord, Road to Kana.
Okay, Christian fiction, right? Okay, awesome, awesome. You enjoying it thus far?
Yeah, it's really good.
There you go. There you
Really,
go.
really good.
What about
It's
you,
fun
Miss Kia?
too.
Oh, you're braiding, right? Okay, so you're
No,
braiding.
I'm doing her hair. I'm listening to the audiobook for the
Oh, okay.
Angel Lake. Yeah. So
Oh,
I think I have about 4 more hours to go on here.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
Is Kitty
yeah.
listening with you?
No,
No.
she can't listen to this here. Oh no. This is hard.
You're like, no, you get your own.
No. No, no. She got her own shows that she's watching, and I got my earpiece in my ear, so I
And there
can.
you go. That sounds
Yeah,
like a plan. That's what I do with my husband. He plays video games. I sit on the side and read.
that's it. Just
Quality
be
time.
right. Hmm.
How about you, Miss Lachette?
I didn't read much. Actually, I'm not sure what to read. I got kicked out because I was trying to listen to my audiobook on the same device, but that didn't work out. So I guess I started the book I was supposed to read for my own reader last month, Travelers Along the Way, but I had 12 pages and I was boiling some eggs.
Okay. Okay. Are you liking your book?
So far, I don't know what's going on yet, but it's not bad.
Okay. 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 Kiana, did we get to you? I can't remember. Yeah, we did. How about you?
To page 42. It's good. It's a little frustrating.
How's it frustrating? Kim Jong. Oh, that's that
um,
uh memoir thing, right?
yeah, it's about okay. Have you guys heard of the 4B movement?
The what?
Say that a little louder.
Oh, I think
Hello?
she paused.
Basically, okay, is North Korea or South Korea?
Uh huh.
Can you guys hear me? I think it's something going on with my connection.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, in like I think you can hear me. Okay, I think it's South. They're really what's the word? Um, sexist
Uh huh.
towards women,
Mhm.
and are like prioritized a lot and everything like that. So the women have started this movement called the 4B movement, and they're not marrying, not having kids, they're not having
Oh.
relations, and they're not like
Okay.
they're not doing anything with men. They're like, no, until we get treated these things with men. And all those words in Korea start with B.
Mhm.
So that's why it's the
Okay.
4B movement. And so
Oh.
for
I've
like
heard
years,
about this,
but
but I
like
didn't know anything
like
about
one
it.
of because this
Yeah.
woman, yeah, yeah, it's been coming out. It's just like the just how they're prioritizing like her little brother over her, and it's just she's in school and this boy was picking on, and the teacher was like, he likes you. It's just and it's just like all the little sex things that she wants her whole life in elementary school. That's kind of sparked this movement. And I read recently that it's like 100 schools have enough first kindergartners or first graders to leave. Like some of the schools had to like they don't even have enough students because of this movement. It's really good.
Mm.
It's
Well, that's a
infuriating,
way to
but
get
it's a
your point across.
Yeah,
That
I
way
know they have a chart
to
that
yeah.
the birth rates are really low, and
So they're
um,
blaming it on the women? That's dumb.
I mean, sexism.
No,
Hey,
they're
that's
not
the
dating
patriarchal
anybody.
society.
They're not dating at all.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
we opt out. because you guys are not going to treat us fairly, and you're not going to advocate for us. You're not going to help us when we have these children. There's no like community, like, so we're
Yeah.
not doing it. They're trying to get out to America because
hmm
if
There's also,
men ain't acting
I mean,
right,
yeah, it's also a
why should
smaller
we have relations with
country.
you? Why should we? Huh?
I think because it's a smaller country and a homogenized society, like they don't have a lot of immigrants or migrants or expats. So these women doing this, it's very obvious when there's less kids than, let's say, if the US did that, it would be a little bit different
Yeah,
and
you wouldn't
wouldn't
even notice because
be
population.
as obvious until
And that's this book, right?
probably.
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
good perspective.
Mhm.
I like it. I like it. I
Yeah.
like books with a unique perspective.
Oh, Kim Ji.
Yeah. And then we got Miss Jaleesa, who has newly joined us. Miss Lady, hello, hello, hello. Go ahead and
Hey.
introduce yourself and let us know what you're reading too.
Oh, let me calm down.
Don't calm down, hype up, girl. It's in the morning.
My name is Delisa from Reading Beyond the Book Cover. Well, we stay reading beyond the book's cover. I read a little bit of everything, but I gravitate more towards horror and thriller. I'm currently reading Cirque Berserk for a book club. It's a small book.
Oh,
Anybody that's wants something really quick, I think it's like 170 something pages.
Oh, sure.
Um,
Okay.
right, yeah. And I made it to chapter 2, so I've just started it.
Okay. That's pretty good thus far. You said the fun house. They're already slashing folks,
It
right?
got my attention because at first I was like, okay, he slashed the back of his leg. So me, I'm goofy. I'm thinking it's fake blood, but no, he's chasing this person in this fun house full of mirrors, and he's been doing it for like 10 years. Crazy stuff.
10 years.
And that's just the first chapter. Mm,
this is what you spend your life on, chasing somebody in a fun house with mirrors.
That's not fun. You know what? There's this my husband and I was checking out this documentary the other day, right? Oh my God, what was it called? The guy's name was Rim was his first name. Anyway, there's this guy who runs like an extreme, like you have those haunted houses, right? Where they chase you around, some do a little jump scare, but this guy is like legit horror. Like if you want a personalized experience where he'll torture you, and most of the time it's free. Like he was like, donate a bag of dog food, and then but it's personalized torture. And he runs it. I think he was in Tennessee for a while, but now he's in California. What the hell is this
mm.
guy's
The
name?
people are not okay.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm just like, y'all volunteered for this.
One of those
Hold
full checks.
on.
It'd
Oh
be
my God, what's
fun.
this guy's name?
Sounds fun.
Sorry.
I gotta put this down. Let me text my husband so maybe he can tell us while we're on the chats what this guy's name. Oh, hold on, sorry.
That sounds like a book I read maybe like 2 or 3 years ago.
It,
It's called Reprieve. Let me find the author's name. They didn't have to pay to go into the full contact. What do you call it? Haunted house.
is this Cirque Berserk? Is that a standalone or is saying?
It's a standalone, but
Is
it's
it a
like part of
standalone?
it's part of a long collection of books. I think there's like maybe 40 something of
Okay.
them now, and they're written by different authors. So you don't have to read one in order to
Okay.
understand. hmm So I guess you can call it like an anthology,
Oh, I see.
sort of,
Okay.
kind of.
Okay.
This guy's
Like those
name.
Star Wars books.
It was confusing
Right.
to me because it said this rewind or die series. I see. Okay, I get it. Okay.
hmm Yeah, if I enjoyed this one, then I'll try to read another one that they may have available at my library, just to get a taste of some other authors.
Ah, it's on Kindle Unlimited.
hmm
Nice. Nice.
But Kiana, I thought you didn't want to read this because there's a clown. Is there not a clown?
I don't. I mean,
I can
I
let you know
don't. But I'm kind of
later.
getting intrigued now.
McCamey Manor, y'all. I'm gonna type it into the chat. Can I type in the chat, Mick? Check this
Maybe the
out,
other
right? Okay, if you want to talk about extreme
books in the
horror.
series, I might check it.
Manor.
Yeah, so this guy, he started Manny Manor. Hold on, never mind. So this guy, right? I forgot his name, but he started. It's called McCamey Manor, but he started with creating like a haunted house. You know those haunted house attractions we do when we want to scare the crap out of ourselves around Halloween, right? And then he started making a more personalized experience where you basically volunteer to like get tortured. So you can contact, and you can still do it to this day. Before he used to have like an actual house place, but he got ran out of Tennessee because people say he's a sociopath. If you want a personalized experience, it's an extreme, what they call it, extreme torture type thing or whatnot. But you volunteer and he'll come up and
this is a real place.
Huh?
Yeah, she's watching a documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
I thought you were
a tourist
talking about a
attraction,
book.
but now it's just kind of like his backyard. No, this is it's in it says it's open. That it's in Tennessee. Maybe you go back.
Okay.
No, this was a documentary that I saw on what was it? Netflix. But basically, there's a $20,000 prize. It's up to like an extreme torture. It's an extreme.
I changed my mind. I may try it out. $20,000.
Yeah, it's a survival. But yes, a $20,000 prize if you can actually survive. It's up to like 8 hours of an extreme haunted attraction. But you sign a liability waiver. Which means you have the inability to leave the experience without the staff's permission. And even if you use the safe word, which the one guy in the documentary, and they tape it all, so it's on YouTube. The guy has a YouTube channel. But the safe word was safe. And even if you use a safe word, he still continued to torture you. Like they buried this one dude alive, all this other stuff. But you volunteer. So it's all these waivers. So they can't really like get you because you signed a waiver saying, yes, I want to be tortured. Okay. You know? No. Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, this is crazy.
Wait.
Yeah, you do various psychological and physical torture, including having like bones broken, teeth removed. One dude that cut off his ear.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it has a lot of controversy. But the guy originally located on his property, they moved to Tennessee in 2017. And it operates year-round, offering visit tours that can last up to 8 hours. It's like an extreme haunted torture house thing. I'm like, why would you want to do that? And it's all tape, like he tapes it. And then there's one chick, she volunteered, right? And then, but there was like because he'll drug you. And there was like this period of time where she was drugged and she don't really know what happened. So she thinks there's some things happen. But people are attracted to this. Like this is older, unattractive, late 50s, whatever guys. And he gets all these little young, pretty girls. That's the ones he likes. And he'll put and stuff. And they seem like they're okay. I'm just like, okay. It's like a survival horror style thing. But if you survive, you can get $20,000. And from my research, because I definitely researched it, not for my own self, but there's only been one person that survived it, some Army veteran, and then he refused to give him the money. Most people tap out early.
Go to jail.
Yeah, you get paid to get kidnapped, bound, masked, slapped, stomped on, and held underwater for up to an 8-hour tour. But it's a whole documentary, y'all. I was like, what in the world?
Now, was any of us at this place?
Girl, you know, that's exactly what I thought first.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was
any of us.
Yeah, I know. There was like one, and I was like, what's wrong with you? You know, she wasn't complete us either. It's like, there's no way. But yeah, these folks are out of control. I'm just like, okay. Yeah, I don't, no way.
Yeah, not stopping when they
we'll
word, and then if they miss it, pain in the money. No.
What'd you say? Say, Lachette?
So they not stopping when they safe word, and then you not paying the money if they make it all the way. That's an automatic no.
Yeah, and most of them don't. They tap out in
Mhm.
3 to 4 hours because the guy's like waterboarding them. He's
Yeah.
burying them in mud. The one chick was afraid of spiders, so he put a bunch of spiders on them.
Hard
You're
pass.
removing teeth. I'm not volunteering for a haunted house attraction where you're trying to remove my teeth. Now they didn't. That's the thing. They didn't show. They showed like 4 or 5 people that agreed to participate in this documentary, right? Because he has a huge cult-like following. But they didn't show any of the people that like he removed ears and teeth and stuff for. I want to know when you showing up being gapped. Yeah, I had a great experience, even though my ears were blown. I didn't see that,
If they
dude.
took my ear off, I wouldn't want to be on camera either. That's wild.
Yeah, but yeah, really, really crazy. But check it out, McCamey Manor. It is a documentary. I think it was Netflix or maybe it was Hulu. But either way, just check it out. And then there's a YouTube channel where he documents live all the stuff that he's doing to these people. And people have been trying to get him shut down because they're like, the guy's basically a psychopath. He's torturing you for your own entertainment. But the government's like, but people are volunteering and signing these waivers but it's like you have to sign it now. And then he'll be like, oh, I have an opening, like you'll email him and he's like, oh, I have an opening like in 3 days or tomorrow. So you don't have any reaction time. And you get there and they blindfold you, then they sit you on a park bench and have you sign a 40-page waiver. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, people are nuts.
There's
I feel
difference
like
between a haunt and torture.
exactly. I think people are bored with life. But that is where you
imagine being that bored that you're like, yeah.
I barely want to go to the haunted house where they're not allowed to touch you, which apparently there are haunted houses where they're allowed to touch you and restrain you. I guess there's different levels of haunted houses, but I don't want to do that. I could be scared walking down the street with the people touting the Trump flag. That's all, like, that's scary enough. I don't need to be having a haunted house with those same people. Okay.
Main character syndrome is a thing. A lot of those people who go to those places, especially the McKinney Manor, have main character syndrome. They think, I'm the main character. I can survive anything.
Yep.
And then reality hits them in the face.
Yep. So. And that's what some of them were saying. They were like, oh, because like I said, he has a huge following of people that are like, yeah, him, all this stuff. And they're like, I could be the one to survive it. I could do it. And one guy did that and he lasted like 3 hours. This guy's like burying him.
It's the same type of people that think they can beat up a bear.
Yep. Yep. That's those same people that go to zoos and get into the alligator cave and they want us to save them or feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for people that break into animal enclosures and get bit by them. What were you doing? That's just like my memoir for the Hugh Hefner thing a few weeks ago. I don't feel sorry for that girl. You knew what you were getting into. I don't. No. Accept your punishment. If that means you got a tooth pulled out or a limb bitten off or you had to do it with an 85-year-old person, that's what you get. Anyway. We're here reading Christ the Lord Road to Canaan. Oh, that's your book. Okay. Paul made some coffee. I'm all for the coffee. I got some tea, mind you. Drink. I need another cup. I'm going to be reading The World, the Flesh, and the Devil. This will be a book that I will be reading on Sundays. Oh, okay. Must be a long book. That's a long title. What is that about? That's Kiana's message about born 1982. That's an interesting premise. There are some countries, what was it, Switzerland or something years ago, where they were given like government incentives because the birth rate was so low because people weren't, just having kids. Yeah. And it's funny because I keep hearing stuff about America that our birth rate is dropping. And you have all these people that are like, oh, in 100 years, we're not going to have any kids. I'm like, I don't know.
We're going to have a lot of kids still.
Exactly.
Ain't no stopping.
We're still going to have kids.
We're not in any danger. You have too many.
Shoot, are we
I'm
gonna
like the birth weight is dropping. What? Are you
have an
afraid
Earth
because
Day
now
tomorrow?
teenagers are getting pregnant like hand over fist and it's just a little bit? Like I'm
They're just
dumbfounded.
worried about the workforce. Like, who's gonna work?
Kids don't want to work now and they're here. Come on
Yeah, that's
now.
what they're. Yeah.
They're trying to be on YouTube like this to think this is sustain us. Like, raise your hand if you think that you can be on BookTube and this is going to be your full-time job and sustain you. I see no hands. Exactly, because we're grown adults. That's why.
I do know people who have done it. I mean, not BookTube only, but as YouTubers. If anybody, it's probably going to be younger people. But
Unless you're one of them gamers with 4 million people. Like, I mean, some people are able to, but I would never want to rely on straight social media to be my source of income
Yeah.
because it is
Yeah.
freaking fickle, okay?
So fickle.
Because, like, look at the TikTokers now, right?
You lot in America are about to lose TikTok, and it's wild to see people reacting to that.
Exactly, because some of those people, that is their bread and butter, especially like some of the younger people that didn't grow up before like internet.
Yeah.
The fact that and here's the thing, not everybody can go viral. You and I can make the same content and the world flocks to you but shuns me. Okay. So it's fickle, but you know, it's nice to have something that sustains you, but even something that sustains you today, next month you could be on the outs, you know. But you have some of these people that have created this brand online, which I think it's amazing. I think TikTok and social media, especially TikTok and IG specifically, where people that have a hard time getting traditional jobs and being successful at it have somehow been able to channel that creativity into something online that people feed into, that they're entertained by, and they can make a living. I think it's a time and place, and I'm not going to hate on that. I think that's amazing because not everybody is meant for one of those traditional, regular other jobs, you know. But it sucks because
sell something.
Say again.
You have to sell something because, like, look at all the makeup girls. They start transitioning into something else. And they'll start like launching lines of stuff. So you have to. You can't.
Well, that's why you have
it's
to
too
have the
fickle too, and people
streams of
can get
income.
canceled. It's
That's
too
true.
fickle.
It's just like Love and Hip Hop and all
You
those
make
people
one-
on those reality shows. They segue that into selling something because they know that's not going to be there forever. But that's the thing, though, when you have these people on TikTok that are selling my personality or my dance or something, you need to somehow segue that into a side business that is not online. Like that, what's that little girl, Indie B or something? Indie something B Indie. I don't know. It's a little girl. She's probably adult. I don't follow her too much, but she dances and stuff. But you know, she sold that into like a side business to where you can rent her out for parties. Indie B, I think is her name. It's a little small girl. Anyway, I saw a little website she has. You can rent it for $25,000 for her to come dance at your party. It's like renting out Beyonce and paying her $3 million to go to Dubai for 3 songs or something, you know. But I'm just saying that a lot of Americans that have made their living off of, you know, like TikTok, they're like freaking out because what do I do?
Y'all about to lose TikTok.
Say again?
Y'all about to lose TikTok.
Yeah, it's crazy. I would go to IG or something. I don't know. To each his own. I wouldn't rely on that. I would side business only. If I was them, I would not quit a day job. Some of them didn't have a day job. So, you know, I'm just saying multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
Hello,
even the traditional jobs, they disappear when they feel like it. If it's not working out, they close up shop and then you gotta find another job.
That's true, but I consider that more stable than online. I would say do all of it together. Do all of it together. Figure it out. Susan says reading the Assassin's Blade from Throne of Glass series. I've heard good things and bad things about that. Anybody
I still haven't read that.
Yeah, I haven't either. It's on my list with a question mark.
I've read the rest of the series, but it's a prequel book. I actually own it, but I keep forgetting I have it.
You got to put it right in your face.
Yeah.
Somebody was doing a read along a while back, but I can't remember what happened with it.
I think it's Paco. Paco was doing a read along.
Let's see. Kata says reading the Angel of Indian Lake. Stephen Graham Jones. That's the title. That dude.
Your favorite person.
That dude. Okay, Kita. Is your mind blown?
Yeah, like I'm excited. I'm
How it-
interested to see how it ends, but I think I know how it's gonna end. So I don't think I'm gonna be happy about it, but it's a bittersweet.
He has an interesting perspective. I feel like I'm hit or miss and more miss with him. So I'm not gonna even try anymore.
This one here is more like Jason and Scream and that whole slasher horror vibes and everything. So that's why I'm intrigued because I want to see how this ends, and especially with the main character, she's more like a Sydney Prescott almost in this situation. So yeah, but other than that, it's really good. It's really good.
So it's none of that crazy psychological stuff because he writes these books with these off the wall characters where I feel like I'm like, you have somebody going through a schizophrenic attack type thing. You know how it's just, a lot going on in the brain. So you might not be able to understand what they're saying. I read some of his books and I was reading like that. And I was like, what in the world am I reading?
Yeah, no, this one here is like more straight to the point.
Okay,
like,
okay.
You
so
get
that's what he's hit or miss. Okay, maybe I'll check that one out. Yeah, he runs me through the ringer right there. I'm telling you, I have a love-hate relationship with Stephen Graham Jones.
No, I feel you. I mean, it's starting to seem like there is something extra behind the main character, but other than that, it's playing out like a slasher film, like a real slasher horror film.
Okay, maybe I can get behind that one. Okay, so Nicole did her daily reading and is reading Illborn. I don't know what that's about. Let me know what that's about. Is that
I DNF'd this.
What is that?
Never heard that one.
Me either. Illborn.
I started the first one. My Heart is a Chainsaw. I DNF'd it.
Oh, you're talking about her book. Okay. This one?
Yeah. Yeah.
I read Night of the Mannequins. It was short and good.
I wasn't into it.
Don't ever pick up The Least of My Scars by him. Or I did not like The Only Good Indians. That was not, everybody kept talking about it. And I was like, I got to read this. And I'm like, nope, not doing this ever again. Not going to do it.
That's a big book.
I think these fumes are getting to me. Let me show y'all this and then I'm going to get out of here with this right here. Okay. So Kiana, you may like this. This is my latest diamond painting. I'm smelling these fumes because I Mod Podged it. I use this to seal my diamond paintings, by the way. I already had it, but isn't that pretty? It's a little bit more. Oh, let me show y'all so y'all can get the full effect of it.
I got another one too. I got a new one too. That's pretty good.
These fumes, I keep smelling these fumes, and I was like, I wanted to show y'all. Let me get this out of here because I'm about to pass out. You'll be like, what happened to Courtney? It's like these fumes. Put this in another room. Keep talking.
I read The Only Good Indians and was terrified and freaked out the whole time. I was like, well, he did a good job. Great writer. I'm not reading horror anymore. That is
I don't give a fuck horror.
He did a good job. It was horrific. It wasn't what I expected, but I'm just like, this mess is nuts.
I'm a punk. That is all. I can't do it.
You don't like him?
No, I was like, that was the period on the end of my attempt to try some horror. I'm done.
Well, that was unique, weird horror. Like I don't even get it. I want horror like somebody, killed somebody and like I don't know, like that was just weird horror. It was like this transformational horror thing and with a lot of suspense. I want just horrific things happening. I guess that's horrific. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying. Like I want blood and guts, something like that.
Give me some
like
This one has it.
Give me
That
Yeah.
sounds like what you're talking about, Keita, is would be up
Mhm.
my alley. But yeah, some of his other stuff, I'm just like he's a hit or miss. But the only good Indians I thought would be good because everybody kept talking about it and talking about some awesome, amazing book. And I was like, well, like I DNF, where was I at? I don't know, 50%. I mean, that's a lot for me to get through and not finish. And
Oh my
I
god.
cannot do it.
They
Oh, a book to recommend for that type of that theme that you were talking about earlier, where they have to sign a waiver off to get
Yeah.
scared. Try reading how I'm Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kellen Bayron.
oh
It's almost like that.
Yeah,
It's
with
really
the
good.
camp. Yeah, I read that. That was good. I like
Mhm.
that. Yeah, that was my intro to her. So I think she will be good for people that don't like horror. Like I think Kiana, you say you didn't like horror. She would be really good for you with that because it's kind of YA-ish and it doesn't get
Some of
like
it.
too gory, but you still get the killing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's a fun time. She has a few books
I could
out.
do some horror. It just can't be too much body.
Nah, nah, no. This one would be a good one. You would enjoy it.
That's fine.
Okay, so Illborn, you said you didn't like it. So what was it that you didn't like about it?
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Enclave, the long road. Okay. Hello, Miss Mary. How you doing, Miss Lady?
Okay.
Frankenstein. Okay. Oh, this is what did I call it? Horror. What did I call this? Like a survival horror
When you were
house.
first
Yes.
talking about it, I thought
Not
it was a
gonna do
book.
It could be a book.
better. It's fiction.
Bible study. Awesome. Okay. Okay. Coda said, "Hey, good morning, Mr. Coda. How are you doing today?" Coda be up late nights on sprints.
Right.
I was trying to hang. I could not last night. Frankenstein. Anybody else in the chat read Frankenstein?
Not yet.
Yeah, I haven't read that either.
I did.
You did? How'd you like it? Look, it's Kenny saying good morning.
I read it in college. It was
How'd you like
good.
Frankenstein? We're good? Okay.
I
I have not. I've seen
liked it. It
several
was good.
variations of it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I read it in school. I don't remember.
Yeah, here's not that long. I read like a picture book of Frankenstein, but I haven't read like Frankenstein.
Frankenstein is like that big.
Yeah.
I own the book.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
that
not
big.
very long.
Quick
Okay.
read. That's good. Nicole says fear factor without any of the safety or money. Crazy place for crazy
Yeah.
people. Yes, facts.
That did cross my mind as well. I thought about Fear Factor, but this is
Right.
worse.
Yeah, that's not. And then they're taping it and you're all like bloody. And at the end, the people are sitting there all bloodied and looking holed out. They're like, this was a great experience. Oh my God, Candyman is awesome. You should book it. It's like, okay. They all look like that in Fear Factor. And at least somebody knows
That and that man did all. If I'd have done that,
He
he
would be
didn't pay
tortured.
me. He would have been scared of me.
Giving him back everything he gave to me.
But most of them don't get that far. Like they said, there's only been one person at the end and he refused to give the money. Most of them tap out. Because like he's talking about like your parents don't love you. You know, that it's a lot of psychological stuff more than anything, you know. Like the one chick, they put her in like a freezer. Just there's no way. I'm not gonna volunteer to be tortured. That's just not my idea of fun. I read.
No,
That's
he needs
enough
to be
torturous things
examined.
out in the world. Exactly. And these girls be like flocking to him for it too. Like the one chick, she was in a cage, like outside with a ball gag, you know, acting like a monkey and like, oh yeah, I'm happy to be here. It's like, okay, okay, you say that till he pull out a tooth. Let's see. Mary says she likes it. I'm waiting on the punch or the punchline. I've never read Frankenstein, and I only know of pictures. Born from a mad scientist. It's alive. It's alive. Hello, Coda. How you doing? Actually, I read this little book that talked about how Mary Shelley came about Frankenstein.
Mhm.
And it said basically, I guess she was at a retreat or whatnot. And you have all these people that, you ever see those YouTube panel where everybody's trying to prove they're more intellectual than the next, right? So
Yeah.
apparently they were at a retreat for couples, and a few of the people thought of the idea of who could write a short story.
The
I think only
vampire
one of
came
them was
that
a
way.
legit writer. Say again?
The vampire came that way. The first vampire novel,
Mhm.
um, by William Perth or something like that. That's how it came about. They were at the same retreat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they just write a story and then later publish. She wasn't even a writer. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely not a writer. Probably the framing story still on the ship. Oh, going through it. Okay, the part giving me chills. Oh, okay, kind of scary, right? Losing momentum. Words I don't. Oh, facts. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't need to be looking up too much of what I don't know. That spoils my enjoyment when
yeah.
I don't know. Like sci-fi. I like sci-fi, but I don't need too many extra. Fantasy does this too, of where they throw in these words that they made up, and I have to kind of get past it. I'm learning just to kind of ignore it and don't try to figure it out too much, because then it takes you out of the story.
No, not
That's
for
why
my life.
sci-fi and fantasy needs the pages to kind of get past it. And after a while, you're like, okay. 20,000 to be sustainable. I agree that I never want this to be my soul. Oh, we're talking about the internet. I thought she was talking about the McCamey Manor. I'm like, you got
Yeah, she said
$20,000?
number of subscribers that you'll need. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of people, they usually
Mhm.
end up quitting their jobs at around the 60K mark. Like people that I used to follow.
Yeah.
Once they get 60K, they're like, oh, I can quit my job. And it's like, yeah, but how long?
That's true.
How
Hey,
long
but
do you
see,
think you can do this?
but here's the thing, it's not even just about, like, I mean, subscribership, you definitely need a big base, but you also need people to stay on your channel. Like, who
Yeah.
really does well with BookTube are like fitness people. Like you have the Grow with Joes of the world and stuff like that, right? Because you have people and Chloe Tings and all, but they also still branch out into their own website and merchandise. So you got to build upon it. But you need people to sustain, to stay at your channel. Like BookTube, you're going to be hard pressed unless you have like a huge following to be sustaining on BookTube. From what I hear, the AdSense isn't like equal like with other ones, but people aren't like sitting there and watching over and over again your BookTube video. Like Grow with Joe, I've probably seen the same fitness video by her because I do it all the time, at least friggin' 50 times. The same thing. It's repetitiveness, right? But people aren't coming to watch my TBR like 100 times.
Right.
If
Unless they want to know
even
what's that book
watch
she
it all the way
read. Yeah.
through. Exactly. So you got to have something that's kind of more sustainable. Like what we're doing is more of a hobby that's entertainment, but it's a time and a place for it versus some of those other videos that are like, this is kind of like a staple. But like I said, for all of them, you still got to build upon too, because I've seen some people like BookTube specifically where they talked about monetization and talked about every month getting sponsors and stuff. It's just, that's a chore. Just don't quit your day job unless it's something you really know can sustain you.
Right.
Let's see. Beautiful people. Hello, Christina. Coffee and hugging the like button. I need it too. Say hello to Christina, everybody. Keep going. Illborn seems to be a fantasy that's based on medieval-like time period, including religious inquisition-like issues.
Ooh.
I don't know if I will. Is that a modern day?
I don't think so. I just saw the page count and then I was like, I don't want to cry.
Jalisa and me are like right
The
here.
thing is, I don't mind. I wouldn't have minded it was one book, but it's part of a series, so that's where it was like a full stop.
That's real. What's the page count though? Mind if I ask?
713.
Yeah, we're done.
That's the Kindle edition.
Say less. We're done. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna waste your time.
I'm
Maybe
interested.
if I see it in person, maybe I'll pick it up. I'm
Who said they were interested?
the
Me.
cover.
Okay. We're gonna have equal opportunity. Lachette's interested. Go ahead and keep talking about it. How many books are in the series?
It has high ratings, so maybe I'll pick it up if I have somebody to buddy read it with, but otherwise.
Well, there you go. You got some options. Nicole is reading it. Lachette's interested. The whole medieval time sounds cool if there's like some torture or something.
You,
lady.
you stuck on torture?
Yeah, I don't think I'd make it in the medieval times. I can already tell.
I would
Like this book I'm reading, this was the March book for my read along, and it's YA though. It's supposed to be a Robin Hood retelling, but it's set in during the Third Crusade.
Mhm.
And but it's a Muslim author, so we're getting that perspective. Again, I've only read 12 pages, so I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's like the Franks versus, I don't know, whatever Sultan was in power in Jerusalem in 1912 or so. So not a time period or a topic that I come across very often. So I'm interested. I'm gonna keep reading so I know what's actually going on and figure out like how this ties to Robin Hood. I'm assuming the robbing the rich and giving to the poor is
Yeah.
a theme that's gonna be coming up, but not a theme that I would think of with the Crusades. So
It'll somehow tie in. Keep going.
yeah.
That's good. I like when they do those reimagines of books, because you have certain characters that didn't like really exist like back in the day, so it's nice to kind of do a reboot and see how you can re-put those in there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Coda says he loves the Only Good Indians. I'm going to read the Indian Lake trilogy next month. Oh, it's a trilogy. Okay.
Oh my God, they're killing more of those people.
What happened?
I said they're killing more of those people. Oh my goodness.
3 books for killing people.
You keep at it.
Low key revenge. But
Yeah.
I feel everything was wrapped up rather well in the first one.
Maybe it's some side characters or something.
Yeah. Well.
Coda's read Frankenstein. Felt it was one of those that is better each time you read it. Oh, okay. Yeah, it probably gets easier. Because that's the thing, when you're reading a book and you don't really understand like a lot of the words and stuff, you're pulled in and out of the story while you're trying to kind of decipher just what's being said. So when you come back subsequent times, it's an easier read to where you can see like all those other little things that you missed because you were out of the story. So that makes sense.
Right.
Kay says hello to Kenny. Good morning, Mary and Nicole.
Morning.
Never each time, one of my favorite. Yep, true. Mary says you call the vibes of those away the other book, Rebecca. I have heard of that. I can't remember who wrote it though.
Dorothy du Maurier.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that a classic there?
Mm-hmm. She wrote Jamaica Inn as well.
Okay. Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. I don't know that one.
I've wanted to read that as well. Both Rebecca and Pillars of the Earth.
Yeah. That's another big one.
Yeah. But I think it's also at this point considered one of those classic fantasies.
What is that about?
I have no idea.
Book sniffing Nicole.
It's about a building. This guy is building a church, but it's so much more than that.
Yeah.
But it's horrific and stuff.
How they're getting through that. It's a lot.
Yeah. This came out years ago. Like,
really realized that I, of course, would not want.
No.
Definitely wouldn't.
Right.
They didn't protect freedom of speech and things like that in medieval times. And we as females did not fare well because, you do something out of line. It's like,
you're a witch. Everybody's a witch.
There's I read a book last year called Sacrifice, and it's all about there's this time in British history during medieval times where Jewish people were persecuted because one Christian boy died and they were blamed for it. And that was all about this little Jewish community in medieval Britain and how they were like targeted because of it. It's kind of horrific. And it also told like a story about how the Irish rebellion happened and how that incorporated into it. It was
Oh.
a good book. The lady came out with another one, with a sequel to it. Hated the main male character. He was a dick. Hated it.
History has some interesting things. I saw this thing the other day. They were talking about what was happening during, Salem witch trials, but even before when they were, accusing all these ladies of being a witch. Like, oh, if a guy wants to get another wife, okay, well, he can't just divorce his wife, so just accuse her of being a witch, and everybody turns against her, or she burned the food and he doesn't like her or whatever, choose a witch. But they were saying that one determination when the lady's like, oh, I'm not a witch, is that they would tie, I think, some rocks or something to her and throw her into the ocean, right? If she sunk, she's not a witch. If she floats, then she's a witch. What? So she's dead either way. I don't understand that.
There was an old guy. His story is like legendary. They accused him of being a witch, right? And they kept torturing him, and he said, "No, I'm not. No." He never gave a confession, never did anything. He didn't even die. He lived out of spite and kept saying, "No, I'm not doing it. No." And in the end, they just had to let him go because he wasn't giving them what they wanted.
See, but then with the ladies, they wouldn't just let us go though. That's that patriarchal society. Y'all, yeah, I would just have to take some pills or something if I lived during that time frame.
Because somebody could just not like you and be like, I saw her. Oh, I'm sorry. And be like, oh, I heard do X, Y, Z, and then you're accused of being a witch. Or they could just be like, just it could be anything. Like, or like, say you had a baby. Say you had, what is it, postpartum depression? I'm sure they had that back then, but they didn't have a name for it. Like, you could be depressed because you're 20 and you got 4 kids. It's, going through it because of that. It'd be like, oh, she's a witch. You're crying. Or just whatever.
Or if you didn't have kids, because they place a lot of value on that. You're a witch.
Or
and even if you like, if you were
you couldn't
a healer or something.
Oh, she's a witch.
What was it? I think it was the Mayfair Witches on the TV show. They showed a scene or several scenes where this lady was like a healer and she helped people with their, give birth and all that kind of stuff. If the baby came out looking funny, they blamed her for being a witch because the baby looked funny. She was like, I'm trying to help you. I made sure your wife was still alive and your baby made it here, but yet I'm a witch.
Look, that's
anything they couldn't explain, it was like you're a witch.
Yep.
I need to read The Witching Hour. I've got all of the books. I've got most of Anne Rice's books, to be fair. But Mayfair Witches, it's weird. Apparently, it's super weird. And I kind of want to.
I don't think it's weird to go through. Anyway, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah. I enjoyed it for the most part. I know this is not book related, but it irritated me how they treated the characters that were people of color on the TV show. Like the entire time I was stressed out. Every single scene, it seemed like the black guy in particular was going to die. And you get all the way to the end, and he's still alive. But it's like, why did you have to put him through this every single episode? I think he's going to die.
I haven't watched it yet, but I read the series way back when. I didn't like it as much as the Vampire Chronicles, so I only read it once. But I remember the story. Yeah. There weren't many people of color really, so I'm curious what was that about.
Right. Yeah.
They were
We always
probably forced to add somebody to add people of color into the story. So they were like, okay, we'll add them, but
right. That's what
you
I
know,
heard.
you have those little
There's
plot devices, and they don't say, but they do. You know.
Well, the Vampire Chronicles TV show,
Yeah,
um,
main character.
our main characters are people of color. So
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
I eat back my words.
mm,
I don't know anything about the
yeah.
show. I haven't watched it. I've heard good things, but I haven't
But
Oh, the
are
watched
both
show's great.
shows by the same creator?
If it's AMC, it's by the same people,
Um,
and going through Christopher Rice as well. So because his mom passed away.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the comments here. I say, Nicole, underline
Mm-hmm.
words you don't know and look at them up at the end of the chapter. That might work better. Yeah,
Mm.
that's true. If you're slow reading a book, yeah, but sometimes we be trying to power through. You got to slow down when you have books that like throw in those little things like that. Camilla came after the Vampire Polidori, the
Mhm.
first ever vampire novel. Oh, really?
That was in
Oh,
the contest. Yeah. Um,
wow.
those two books came about because of that
I did
contest.
not know that. That's awesome. See,
Yeah.
see the knowledge, see the fruition of it. And sometimes it's like always, so a lot of people always think that like some of these books come from like this long toil of a writer sitting at their desk and stuff. And sometimes it's not. It's just a little whim thing, you know.
Right.
Mary says, thanks for suggesting, Nicole. Gonna do that. YouTube is only paying you enough to help pay for your hobby. So to buy a book or two each month. Well, thus far it's not paying
Yeah,
me
I'll take
nothing.
it.
That's more than I'm getting.
I'm not even monetized.
The only thing I've gotten for YouTube thus far is a community, and I met some cool people. But I have had like a few people reach out for to give me a book. So to me, that's my payment of what I would like is, hey, give me a book, a physical book. Other than that, I don't expect any other money.
I usually don't mind those, but what agitates me is when I feel like the person hasn't watched anything, like any of my videos or even looked at any of my reviews, and they think that I want to read their book. And I'm like, what made you think I want to read your
Oh,
book?
does anybody want to hear some gossip?
Go ahead.
Some
Okay.
gossip on
Yes.
TikTok. You could
What's
go
the tea?
watch the lady's video, right? But I was scrolling through TikTok, and there's this lady on TikTok who starts the video with, "This author tried to give me her book, and when I didn't answer her, she was racially abusive."
What?
And she
See,
goes through,
oh
Oh,
God.
basically explains that an author sent her a message through DMs on TikTok, and she didn't answer because she doesn't normally answer DMs through TikTok, right?
Mm,
I don't either.
Unless it's like friends, right? And the
yeah.
woman went into a tirade on
Not
in her
surprised.
message to the point where the girl actually answered her, and the woman didn't like the fact that she didn't want her book. She didn't even say she didn't want her book. She just didn't answer. She was busy. She has a
Yeah,
lot
you never know why she
of
didn't answer.
TikTok.
Yeah.
right.
And she started, the girl looks, I don't know how the woman mistook her for Middle Eastern or whatever she was calling her, because she's Northern English,
Mm-hmm.
just has darker skin. Maybe she tans, I don't know. But
Right.
she started calling her fat. She started calling her all sorts of names.
What?
And at the same time, she was calling her a heretic.
What? That's crazy.
What?
I don't know how your mom. At one point, she said, "I don't know how your mom raised you. You
People
probably
have
don't
the
have a
right to
mother if you
use
don't have a
words.
bro."
Exactly.
Say yes. She didn't even say yes. She just didn't answer. I do that all the time.
People are not okay. I'm telling you.
I
That
used
is
to do that. I
crazy.
used to always say, like, I have a long list of books already.
You know,
If I get to it, I get to it. If I don't, I don't. That's it.
I need to
I'm
send
going
it
to go
to
back and
you.
forth with you about whether or not I'm going to take your book.
maybe they need to do something like ban authors from like review sites because
Yeah.
there's
I mean, well,
all
this is just
lady.
TikTok in general, so anybody could post, but
Right.
that's yeah,
Oh,
that's.
oh well, yeah.
But what if
That's
she would have read it and
that's
then gave it a
crazy.
1 star and said this sucks? Like now you're gonna go back on
Well,
another
that's the
racial
thing.
tirade?
Yeah, I tell them, I'm like, look, if I don't usually read this genre here, so do you have? And I ask them if they have something else. So I don't flat out say no, but if you got something else, I'll try it.
Mhm.
We'll see. But I have had to say no to some people because there's no way I can sit down and read a 900 something page, not even 900. I think it was like a 1,000 something page book
What?
about. Hold up, not even just that. So one is long as I don't want to say long. Is the child there? I was going about to cuss. I'm not gonna cuss. Okay, it was long. The book is long. It's like 1,000 plus pages, and it's a memoir about his cross country travel from California all the way to
Nah,
I don't even know you. I gotta
no.
be vested to read a
I'm not.
memoir.
Yeah, I'm not reading
Very
your
few people I'm
memoir.
gonna read a memoir and I don't know who you are.
That was a lot. So I was like, I'm so sorry. I
I wouldn't
can't. That's
say I'm
just a lot
sorry.
of
Just be like,
pages.
no.
And
Like,
I'm
it don't hurt to ask, but I'm gonna say no.
yeah, no.
Yeah, you gotta. I feel like you should take it with grace, like because here's the thing: the internet is full of a whole lot of people. I might not want to read it, but somebody else may. But you can't get upset. I mean, that's.
I mean, you can get upset, but keep that to yourself. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, maybe they wanted some attention, but it's one thing being upset, but then you went on a whole racial tirade too.
Yeah.
Like, I
You
mean,
don't even know if the woman is that race you're talking about either. Not that it would
yeah,
be a
that's
good
true.
thing if she was or not,
Right,
but she
right.
was just. She,
I
what
don't
I
know.
took away,
Like
what
I
I
was up
took
here
away,
minding my business, and you attacking me about everything. What is happening?
what I took away from that whole thing is the woman kept getting stuck on the word fat because she kept calling her fat, and Northern British people have the best swear words because I love the word trollop now because that's what you call. She's like,
Trollop.
Oh
Yeah, I like
yeah.
trollop too.
no.
People use that in Northern Britain. That's hilarious. I do love that word,
If you
but
stuck on the word fat, then I know your book is not that good. That means that's all you know how to say. You need to pick up a thesaurus. That's all you can say is fat.
I want to ask. I only know one Northern British person. I think she's on TikTok. I know more than one Northern British person, but I mean, in the book community,
Mm-hmm.
there's a really popular booktuber, and she does look, I guess, Middle Eastern or Arab or South Asian a little bit, but some people say not. But I'm wondering if that's her.
Uh-oh, it may be.
But
The world is
I'm
big.
not gonna say her name here because it's not necessary. But I'm just wondering.
That's just really wrong for the, and it's crazy because most people when they're trolls, they don't like I got called a few weeks ago, not to get into it, but the N-word on a live sprint like this a few weeks ago, right? But it was like a random person, without a
Yeah.
profile, that type thing, right? Normally, when people
Oh.
troll like that, they don't necessarily put a profile. But this person, according to Kenny, like they had a whole
She had a
tirade,
whole
video, face, and everything.
Mm.
Mm-mm-mm.
Again,
Yeah,
I'm not
That's
surprised. I've
crazy.
heard of other similar situations and seen it on like Twitter mostly.
yeah.
But like,
Maybe it's
I'm
people
just
wanting attention in a negative way.
They done it.
but no.
They done it to mine.
That's
Really?
crazy.
Yeah, when I talked about because
Not
Star
gonna
Wars
do it.
is so it's a
White.
global fan base, but the minute that us Black people we have something to say about
Mhm.
race that isn't recognized or represented properly, then here
Yeah.
come the trolls. I leave them there. You ain't hurting me. Bye. We move on.
Right. At
That's
this
just
point,
like when the Little Mermaid came out. Oh my gosh, really? We can't have come on out.
Again,
I call
had a,
these free conversations. If it's not about money, I ain't got time.
you should see it. It's still, you should see it. I left all the comments there because the whole idea is that you came specifically on that particular short to state your unnecessary opinion. So you can stay there.
Mhm.
You can stay there. It's the same thing on the TikTok. They do it there too. I leave the comments there. you just don't get no, you get no sympathy. I feel no ways.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with
I
you on that
feel
one.
nothing. Okay. You know,
Yeah.
I said what I said and I stand by what I said. If I
Right.
say it in my podcast, I say it on my podcast. If I say it on the video, I say it on the video. But you're not going to sit up there and try to tear down a black woman who has their own opinion about what's going on in this climate, in this world. And
Right.
the fact that you are attributing to what is the issue here, you get no opinions from me. Like I'm not about to sit up there and go back and forth with you. You're not necessary.
Right.
You're unnecessary. You're
Mm-hmm.
If
just
you
a
have those
another
people
person.
that continue to keep coming out, you have those people that just keep coming out, and then when they start pulling out like the big guns and hate in whatever fashion that hate is, girl, I haven't gotten to this point because generally, if I even comment, it's one and then I let it go no matter what you say. But if they keep coming back, I would do like what some of those other people do: take screenshots and do a whole video and then link you below.
Now, but then we're giving them that space. They
Yeah.
don't deserve that space.
But
Is
sometimes they
is
need to
the
be
whole
called
idea.
out.
You do, and that's all on you. But for me,
Yeah.
I have too many things going on.
Yeah.
I'm not about to sit up there and do a video on you because you're
Yeah,
not
that's true.
necessary. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm not
Yeah.
about to have that open space. I see so many YouTubers, they fall down that rabbit hole of
Yeah.
anytime when there are trolls coming at them, they want to go ahead and say something.
Nah.
That's not good for your mental health and it's not good for mine. Like I
Most of,
feel no ways. Like I'm not about to sit up there and mess up. No.
from what I see, most of the time, the people in the comment section have it already covered, so they don't
Yeah.
really have to say anything. People in the comments already have it covered.
That's true. That's true. And especially if those anonymous trolls, I'm not even wasting my time with somebody that's like going, you're those people that like to dip in and
Yeah.
dip out. That's not even really worth your time and effort. But if you're somebody that's prominent and you're going around and doing stupid crap like that, then I'm gonna put you on blast. I'm not gonna waste a whole lot of time on it, but I'm gonna waste a few minutes. I ain't gonna lie.
There's a guy on TikTok who's non-binary. I think he's non-binary. I'm not sure. I think because he likes to wear makeup and dresses and stuff. And there's a person who will comment on his videos so much that the guy actually made a video and has made this like storyline that troll is actually in love with him, because he keeps coming back.
I believe
That's
it.
content right there.
He's like, I put this dress on for you. Do you like it?
That's hilarious.
I'm
So
still
much
waiting for
Like,
you to
now we're in a relationship.
I'm
Well,
still
you can
waiting for
watch
you to
it.
accept the date that I
I'll be
asked.
like hashtag link below. My boo.
Because he keeps coming back and commenting on his video, so
I love
obviously
that.
he likes him. So
He must like it because most trolls dip in and out, but you keep coming back. You must like what you see. That's the way I look at it. You keep coming back. So let's see what's up. What's up? All right, I want to do one more sprint. So let's get through some of these comments. Y'all, this time is flying by. I enjoy all these talks and stuff. Hold up. Oh, okay. Bye. Book them up. Yep. Say hello. Very fast. 703. Yeah, okay. There we go, Jaleesa, in case you want to read.
I'm gonna try, but if you don't read fast, I'm coming for you, Nicole.
Correct.
Let me see my library.
Talks of crusades, heresies, and second coming, as well as magic. You might like it. Let's check. There we go. Might like it. Golden says, what are we butter reading with? I missed it. Jaleesa and I already tortured.
The Little Life.
Where are you at into that book, by the way?
I think I'm on page 530. 530 out of 816.
Keep going.
Wait, what
girl.
y'all?
A Little Life.
A little light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to like savor.
Is it
the
good though? Do you like it?
It's I don't want to say it's good because I feel like it's overwritten, but
Overwritten. That's a word.
Yeah, it's overwritten. I
like
like
this is a low
the
bar.
writing. The writing style is good, but it's like one of the characters in particular, he's going through a lot. I have a feeling he's like going through CPTSD. I think that's how you call it, and it's just
PTSD.
it's a lot. Like it's. It's almost to the point where it's not believable. I'm gonna say that in my review. It is happening so much, the things that he's doing to himself and putting himself through, that you're wondering why hasn't he gone to therapy yet?
Some people
What
There's so much
like
trauma.
and why?
That is why I've not read the book. I
Yeah,
would be
it doesn't make
angry.
sense.
Yeah.
Go to therapy.
It will make you upset because it doesn't make sense that this person is highly intelligent and he's supported by all these people and everybody's telling him to go to therapy and he doesn't go to therapy. So I don't know.
It's like soap opera when you've been killed, had a double personality, you've been a demon, all these things in one life. And you're like, really? So that to me is what that book sounds like. You have all this stuff and you're still going at
Yeah,
it.
still going.
That's one of those books that I call I need to be with my mummy books, where
Mm.
it's so sad that I need to go down to where my mom lives and read it so I can have mom cuddles afterwards.
All
And she'll probably
803
cuss me and
pages
tell
of
me to
it.
get out of her house, but there's
It's
So
not all
y'all
bad.
been talking about this book so much, and I already been said I was not going to read all 800 pages. But what I did do is I went to Wikipedia and got a like chapter by chapter synopsis. So I already know what's going to happen. Because I couldn't find anybody that
Cliff
was going to
notes.
spoil it all the way. So I was like, let's see what Jaleesa and Coda's talking about. So Wikipedia just told me everything. So I felt like I read it. I should do a review. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, you maybe could.
No.
That's what I did with 20 Days of Sodom. Everybody's like, this book is great. You should go and read it. And I read the Wikipedia page, and I have, when, do you guys have like a trauma response? Like your body like responds to something that is really traumatic? Mine's is going like deaf. And I read the
Um,
Wikipedia page and felt that, and I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm never
Wow.
reading this. I'm good.
You know your limitations. Hey, nothing
I
wrong
do
with
have
that.
that. I've had to put the book down a couple of times because it felt like I stopped breathing. That's what I do. I forget that I'm not breathing, and I'm like, wait, okay, let me go and put it down. Come back to it later because he goes through a lot, so much so I'm like, why are we still here? Dang.
816 pages.
Seems like his friends aren't helping much either, but yeah.
No.
Mm-mm.
So wild.
Yeah. Well, keep at it. You got another 300 pages. You can
Well,
make
keep
it.
at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. It's at a five still. Like even though I'm complaining about it going on for too long, it's a good book. It feels very cathartic. I like crying, so I've cried a couple of times. I've smiled. I've laughed. I've had all the emotions. So
To
it's at a
cleanse
five.
it.
It's at a five. I don't know
Can
about the
we
next
talk
100
about
pages.
it'd be so many books with characters that just they would just do that. We would have less books.
Yeah, just do
I think
that.
everybody
Everything else,
needs therapy to a
That's
certain
their answer.
extent.
Yeah.
but he won't go. There's like some kind of shame in it, which I guess I understand, but like you've been through too much, man, to not go and get help. You've been through a lot. From the day you were born until now, I think he's like 40 something years old. He's been through a lot of stuff. You gotta unpack that. Like this suitcase it's been you can't close it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe he will. Maybe he won't. We'll
Yikes.
see. Okay, so who's in for Pillars of the Earth in the fall? Because Nicole and Coda are.
Uh,
I don't know.
Oh, you're like,
I don't know. I
I've
got
been reading it. I've been reading it for a
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm a mood reader, and if it feels like when I was in school and I was assigned reading, and then I,
Yeah, I'm learning.
I'm
I
good.
can't do that.
You know what it kind of feels like for me? It
1076
kind of feels like
pages.
Game of Thrones. I don't know. It kind of feels like Game of Thrones for me. Like,
Oh, interesting.
oh, it's too many
there's like
characters to
people in
keep up
power,
with.
a lot of,
Uh,
Well, no, it's not. Well, it is. It's a few characters, but it's just the way that it's like the people who are like plotting to be in power, and then there are like the poor people, and then the guy that's trying to. It's and everything's interconnected. So they'll go and they'll follow one person, and then there's just it's just some of the characters just kind of remind Game of Thrones. It's the same period. It's you don't know who to trust, and it is interesting. Even though it's about building a church,
Yeah.
it's just all the other little stuff. It is interesting. It's just I keep getting thrown off because I keep picking up other books, and it's
Hmm. That's fair. This is a
not finishing
1,000
it.
plus page book.
But it is good.
I
It's
need
what
more
is
than the
it? I want to say
synopsis
it's
is
about
giving me. That's why I haven't picked it up yet. I'm like,
Mm.
you're talking about some dude building a church, and then some other dude is the architect, and then there's a lady. That's it. That's the synopsis, pretty
Yeah,
much.
I'm out already.
I need more details. What is
Okay,
this
that's
it
the
about?
does
podcast, by
sound
the way.
interesting,
That's
but
why
it's
I
it.
haven't picked it up. Yeah,
Let
that's
me.
not good
I
enough.
don't know how many pages it is. I'm gonna go get it.
What was that movie that they had?
Hold on. Let me put.
Oh, what was it? There was another movie. Oh, I can't remember. That reminds me of where it was a guy went for it won all these Oscars a while back where the guy went and he was working in some discovered oil. Oh, okay, I remember. I won't go into it. Anyway, drop your channels in the chats, please, so you can get some subbies.
Um,
Mayfair Witches is so cute. History of the Witching Hour. Oh, looks like they combined a few characters. Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about
Yeah,
that
I'm
one.
gonna read it. Now that I finished the first season, I'm gonna read Mayfair Witches sometime soon.
Really
oh,
hoping
it's
this show will
Cyprian.
cover
Yeah.
all the history. 70% of the book, they brushed over it and rushed too much. Yeah, sometimes they can't fit too much stuff in it, so they just kind of mash what they can together and leave out other things. I prefer the Mayfair Witches. Plan to read Lasher. Oh, I like that name.
The last year is crazy.
Ooh. Yeah, that's where the weirdness comes in.
Cuckoo.
What?
But if you are a fan of the Vampire Chronicles, read the May. If you can get through it, read the Mayfair Witches. It's as a fan.
I know it's part of
Worth it.
the whole thing. It's like a separate part
Yeah,
of the Vampire Chronicles
Yeah.
because one
yeah,
of
they're
the guys
connected.
in Blackwell Farms. Is it called Blackwell Farms?
I don't remember what it's called, but like without spoilers, some people show up and there's a connection, but you got to read it. Yeah, it's not in the first book, I don't think.
Thing. Give me a second.
But yeah, and the Vampire Chronicles connection is part of the weirdness.
Okay. I'll have to look
Okay.
out.
So we're talking about.
Word coda. I said overwritten. Okay. Embellished is a better word. It's just so much.
He's definitely scarred.
Scarred.
Some people don't get there. Yeah, that's true. Some people don't go to therapy. And
Yeah.
it shows, though. It shows. But also, if you go to therapy, you need to be willing to talk in therapy. Like, I've known people that have gone to therapy but didn't do anything. So you're just wasting your time and your money, too.
And that's where he is. Like, he locks up if you try to mention therapy. But
Yeah.
what I've gotten out of the book so far is this is what I'm thinking. It's making a point of some people just cannot be helped. Like, no matter how long you try to, help them do things or tell them to do something.
Might be too late.
Right.
And that's
I mean,
the reality,
he's
though.
40.
People assume that everybody can be fixed. It's just like certain
Right.
medical conditions. Some people, you can't be fixed. Like, it's just not gonna happen, and it's unfortunate. But some people are lost. That don't mean you don't try, but some people are just lost. And sometimes you need a combination of medication and therapy. Okay, you can't just put it in one thing. So
Or maybe a combination of traditional and non-traditional methods. And
that too. That too.
And there's some stuff, unfortunately, science and doctors and therapy is not up to the challenge for it yet.
Yeah, Blackwood
Just
Farm.
like, regular doctors, there were diseases and issues that people have had for hundreds of years, but only modern medicine now is able to take care of it or help, whereas it wasn't in the past.
That's true. It's like DNA evidence for true crime.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it wasn't available good. So hopefully they preserved it and now they test it now and find the real killer.
Yeah.
Or find the people that they put in jail for 20 years and now they got to release them through the Innocence Project. See, you know how I watch true crime, right?
Like to stay with that, like a lot of SA crimes, we don't, the police and authorities don't have the ability to really prove that
Yep.
and catch those criminals, and that's the sad state. But
Yep.
on a less sad note, there's also like a lot of crimes. Like it's just embarrassing how people online run rings around the police and the federal agents and things like that because they are not up on what's happening online.
Yep. And you need to have a budget too for that too, because it all costs in order to investigate these
Costs
things.
money, and then they have to have people who know what they're doing. Most people who are like regular police officers are not as chronically online as the people committing these crimes and things like that.
Yeah.
Crazy
By the way,
stuff
Nicole,
in this world,
I will
y'all.
never know if 120 Days of Sodom is good because I ain't reading it.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
I ain't reading it. You never
That
know.
don't sound like something I want to read. No lie.
Yeah, I'll Wikipedia. I haven't done that yet. See what happens. Oh yeah, so Coda's been talking about this review of an arc that he read and just was like,
I think that's the arc that he sent an email to the author about. He was like, "You want me to edit it?"
Hold up. What is this? Hold up. 973. Which book is this?
The Pillars of the Earth, right?
Oh my god.
Pillars of the Earth.
Keep at it.
It's 973.
That's a
Is it like
chunk.
floppy? Can you open it to see? Does it like stay open?
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, maybe I'll pick it up.
Oh, it's 120 days.
I like the floppy that stays open.
I was
What's
what is it called when you read it and you listen to the audiobook too? What is it? I forgot. But I was doing that. The audiobook.
Or immersion read.
Immersion.
People call it hybrid
Yeah,
reading,
that's
but
it.
I call it dual wielding because it sounds better.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's a name?
Yeah, people just came up with that. I've also heard blended reading. I can't do it. I can either listen or I can read. I can't do both at the same time.
Oh, I
can
do both.
both. It's just not efficient use of my time. If I'm gonna do a audio, then I'm gonna be doing
At the same
something
time.
else.
I switched.
Oh yeah. I like to switch on. I
Switch
like
back
to have an
and forth,
audio book just in case, but I don't always use it.
I do all three.
Okay.
Wherever I can get the time. But mainly I'm an audiobook, clearly, because I have to deal with her all day. So audiobook is all day for me.
Understandable.
She sounds so good though. She's quiet. We haven't heard her like.
She got her headphones on.
She's not
talking. Hairstyle. Good job, by the way.
That face.
Huh?
You got a good baby.
No, you ain't see me. I've been on mute this whole time. The girl.
We can't tell.
Yeah, no, she's on mute. She was crying a lot when I was doing her hair. I had to put her on mute, and then yeah, no, you ain't hear a lot. No, she's a very
she wasn't
talkative.
running away or nothing. She sat there at least.
Yeah, no, she's sitting there as long as she got her TV show, she's good, and her hair is done what she wanted, so she's good. She's happy now, but now she's trying to rush me to do something else, and I'm like, no, you can wait. So watch your show. She'll be all right. She's fine. But yeah, no, audiobook, as long as it's with the Hoopla, the Libby, the Everin, those are the ones that I go to. And unfortunately, Star Wars ain't on any of those, so I have to go to Audible to get these things. And sometimes at night I just read on my Kindle or just mix it up and do both at the same time. So, and then they do have the text to speech.
Yeah,
I do that on the Kindle just to kind of get me through.
Yeah, that definitely is good. I did 2 books via that though, and then I did a regular audio, and I'm just like, I think that my enjoyment is less with that audio, the AI voice. But
Um,
I found some books like they sound different between books, so I give it a try just to see sometimes,
Mhm.
just what may be better. But yeah, it's a bait.
The AI just don't do good on the dialogue. So if there's like major dialogue going on, there's too many
Yeah.
pauses and stuff, and I'm like, I need you to hurry this up, you know. So I just read it as is. Like the Magnolia parts, that's just too heavy dialogue, so I just read it as is. But everything else, I can do the text to speech if there's some, extra like info dumping, I call it, into the story and whatnot. But yeah, the text to speech ain't that bad. But they do have this app called Speechify.
Yep, I tried that. I
Yeah,
didn't get
I
too
was like,
far. Don't you
oh,
gotta pay for it? I tried to do that on my husband's thing, and then it let me set up a profile, and then it made me ask me about payment.
yeah. I did the same thing, and I was like, well, honey, I ain't got that money, so
Yeah, I was
go
like,
on
no.
now.
I
Yeah.
prefer to sit and read anyway. Audio is just an extra, just in case I'm running out of time. But I prefer to sit and read. But I do play around with the little audio thing, the AI,
Mhm.
if I don't have an audio book.
Mhm.
Just for times when I can't sit. But you do have to play. Like I like that you can speed it up, slow it down, change the pitch, things like that, and that does help a bit. And I have found that the voice does sound a bit different between books sometimes.
Mhm.
It's not always the same. So if you don't like it on one book, don't completely give it up if you want an audio component. And it's
Right.
free. So that to me is what something I gotta think about. Free, a little bit of
yeah.
compromise on the voice for free, I can do it.
Mine's is at 2.0 all the
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
Really? My ears
Yeah,
don't
I'm
work.
Voldemort.
that.
I
Yeah.
can't. That's too
I
I mean,
don't
fast.
know.
so I might as well read that book myself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or something else.
You
Yeah.
said you
No.
read this right here, Kenny Voldemort?
No.
Oh, I thought you said you read that yourself. Sorry.
He says the arc shall not be named. It's Voldemort.
Yeah, I remember it. I think I have it in my. I think I put it on. Let me check my Goodreads. I remember when he mentioned the book.
I know it's so. I looked it up. It has something to do with Harry Potter. I guess that was somebody else with him. No, or was that something else?
No, let me
No.
see.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Keep going through the comments. I'm gonna find it, and then I'll
I want to
but I
know.
remember being like, "Oh, it looks interesting. Let me try and see." Even though he said that it had some errors or some issues.
Oh, this is somebody else. Okay, I typed in
Oh,
Voldemort. It came out Lord
it's called
Voldemort, a
"I'm
Harry
the
Potter character. So that's something different.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Huh?
I'm the Same." Is that the one you're talking about, Coda? I'm the
I'm
same.
the same.
Because he said that. Well, I remember him reading some of the parts. It did sound repetitive. Like the person would say something like, "I don't know, the door was open, then I went through the open door," stuff like that. So
Girl,
it
what
needed
you
more editing. But I just wanted to see for myself. So
What is that about?
I don't know.
Oh,
Something about being biracial. I know that's tiny, but this is the book. If y'all want to go and see, I think that's the one
I'm
that he
gonna
was
take
talking.
Coda's opinion.
see? Now I'm curious. I want to know because that's from NetGalley, right?
Yes,
That's what I
yes.
was
It
talking about.
came. It
What
comes
is
out
the
April the 9th.
what is the craziest thing you've read off of NetGalley? Like you looked at it, you thought it would be
Ooh.
good, and you got it, and it was like complete shit.
Nothing yet.
Like this was a bad
Let's see.
idea.
Let me pull up
This
my
is a bad
NetGalley
idea.
right here and see
I
what's
was
up.
gifted a book from I don't know if you all get these messages from this place called Book Tasters on Twitter, and they gifted me a book from this author that used to be, I think, a police officer, sheriff, or something like that. It wasn't a wackadoodle book, but it was just kind of like, what do you read? Like sometimes when I'm reading somebody's book, I'm wondering I'm wondering, do they read and what do they read? Because the entire book sounded like it was like action packed, but action packed from a comic book standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like you would, Courtney, when you were talking about bam and boom and
Yeah.
that's what the book read like, but in just
No.
novel form. So yeah, it grinded my gears. I gave it a 2.5, I think, or a 2 or something like that. Only because I was surprised by the twist. If there was no twist and I was not surprised, it would have got a 1.5.
Mm.
But
Whole
NetGalley, so I'm careful with
surprise twist.
NetGalley. I don't just pick up anything from NetGalley.
That's true. Yeah, you got to be particular about what you get with them because they give you a whole slew of books. So it's like you can't think that maybe, oh, I'm not going to get something else, but I don't pick this one up. Because that's what I used to do before when I first got it. Oh, they're not going to give me any more books. I'm just get whatever. I'm like, nah.
And yeah, I learned my lesson. That's why I got like what 89 books I still need to read.
Wow.
I didn't think I would get approved for any of them. But it's fine. I take my time.
No, I read a book that they sent me. What is it called? It's called Liar, Dreamer, Thief. It wasn't wild. It was just utterly boring. I was just like, okay, I don't know what the hell's going on. But I don't know. They have some pretty decent books, but I'm just particular about it. But they did have that new Keanu Reeves Berserker, that comic that he have. I guess there's like a spinoff. So they had that. So that was pretty fun. I was happy to get that. It made more
I'm
sense.
nervous to check out the what do you call it? To ask for the graphic novels because I heard that sometimes the panels aren't finished, and I think that would affect my rating.
I've never had that, but I will say with the graphic novels, you know how you can download the book? With graphic novels, you can't download them because of, I guess how big they are or whatever. So you either need to look at them on your phone or have like an iPad. Like I have a Kindle, you can't put it, they're not compatible with Kindle. But on my husband's iPad, I was able to look at them. Okay. But I prefer paper when it comes to graphic novels. Not to say I haven't, because I've read quite a number of graphic novels via NetGalley. But I prefer to have like a physical book when I'm looking at a comic or something. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just know those limitations. Because the first time I got it, I was like, why can't I bring this to my Kindle? And I was peeved. But luckily, he has an iPad, and I was able to utilize that. So if you don't have that, then there may be an issue because I'm definitely not going to read on my phone. Like this is not going to happen. Like, I don't read a regular book on my phone, but much less a graphic novel. You're just asking for eye strain. I don't have the time.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some of these chats so we can get to one more. Woo. Are y'all going to be up for a sprint? Let's do like a 20. Y'all okay with that?
I'm up. My husband's at work. I am home.
I was trying to get off here by noon because we gotta go do some household stuff. We did taxes yesterday, y'all. Ooh. That was a chore, but we figured it out. We're determined not to pay them, like not to pay anybody to prepare them anymore for us. So it was our first time. So we did that. So we were stressed after that. So all the things we were supposed to do at the later half of yesterday, we're going to do today.
You have to go home and take a nap.
Exactly. Well, we actually did it at home. It was just a chore. Like I used to do paper file of taxes way back in the day, but then we got into, of having somebody prepare for us.
Yeah.
But then the last 2 years that we filed our taxes, we were using like Tax Act, things like that at home, the software, but they charge an arm and a leg for that. And we were paying taxes. So this year we were like, because you can actually free file with fillable forms. You just have to do the calculations and know what to do. But it's not that difficult because we don't be itemizing all the time anyway. Right. But we did that and it was simple once my husband figured it out. So, but it was just stressful. So we backed up a bunch of stuff. But we getting some money back, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Could have said the lesson of the book is about intervention. Should have locked them up. It's a hard decision to make for someone you love. I didn't do it, and now I wish I had. Yeah. It's difficult when someone's suffering from illness and mental illness and things like that. The arc was I'm the same 5 page review. Right. 5 pages.
5 5 page.
Kelda, hey, you are diligent. You go hard for it. Nothing wrong with that.
On
Wait.
LinkedIn as
Did
well.
you say 5 page review?
On LinkedIn.
My guy,
Oh
five
my
pages.
god.
What you have to say for 5 pages?
I'm gonna see it. I'm
So
just
this are
saying.
the people need to know.
I know. He's like, you need to know. I'm a hold on review. I'm writing it down. I'm gonna go take a
Yeah,
look at
I'm the same. That's what it's called.
it. Oh, that is too funny. Okay, I'm gonna go. Yes, yeah, I didn't know. That's why I looked up. I was like, that says Harry Potter. Tries to be about a lot of things. It ends up not being about anything. That is a fact. I hate that. You should not be named. That is too funny.
Oh,
2 stars because the guy finished the whole book. That is hilarious. Yeah, that's how you continue through, hoping it's going to get better, and it doesn't, right? Oh, 2 days. Okay.
It comes out on the 9th.
Well, hopefully they fix all those,
75 plus technical errors and typos.
Mhm.
Well, they do
Honestly,
say on that
that's
galley that this
ridiculous.
isn't necessarily a finished product,
Yeah.
so
No, I understand that. Just she counted.
you gotta go
Mm-mm.
through, write them down. 5 page review, go read the reviews. It's shorter than the book and much easier to read.
Okay. That's what
Oh,
I'll
you got
do then.
spoilers too. Did you label spoilers at the beginning though? Just to be sure. Some people come after you on that one.
Mhm.
Somebody
Oh
gave
yeah,
it
let's
five
get to this
stars.
20-minute
what?
sprint.
You gave it 5 stars.
They were being nice, y'all. Oh, they were being nice.
They must be related to the author.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or the author themselves.
Could be. Could
Right.
be. Oh yeah, I got a 20-minute sprint because I'm
And
running low
Steven.
on time. But this has been a lovely chat,
Okay.
so I'm good with that. Okay, y'all. Happy reading.
Mm.
Hello. I had trouble clicking off the mute button there. Um, I was getting into Coda's review here. um, very interesting. I didn't get too far into it. I didn't finish it, but yeah, it's funny how he talks about what did it say? It said at the beginning of it. It said like he'll say, "Oh, I did this," and then in quotation marks, then he'll write like another little kind of comment. Well, not at first, it wasn't. Oh, well, because of this. More on this below. I like that because it kind of leads you to suspense for later on. But I do like the name Kodak, the person's name, so that's pretty cool. That he's over dramatic. That should be pretty fun. Let's see. How did y'all get into y'all reading? That's all I read, by the way. I made some.
How many pages?
You said, where am I at? Hold up. This needs to click off. Sorry. There we go. I had a little thing here. I couldn't see Kenny. Okay. Who said they read 100 pages?
Well, not 100. I said I don't know how many pages, but it's reading really fast. I only have to read up to like 13% for the book club meeting on Wednesday, but I'm already at 8%.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to try to stop myself from passing everybody up.
I'm being haunted.
Hello, Hubs. How you doing? You really don't see much with him. He gets cut off like right here. How far did you get, Kenny?
I didn't do that much. I think I read like 3 pages. I got to chapter 18. No, chapter 20. And I felt a bit off, so I went to get something to eat and a drink. So.
Okay. Is the headache still kicking your butt?
It's more like the after effects of the migraine now.
Sorry to hear. Well, hopefully you get better. What's your plan for the day? To kind of chill and relax?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish this and then pick up this Present Darkness, which is more in my wheelhouse. Christian fiction that's horror related. That's written by a horror author. So
okay, that's good. How about you, Keita?
I will be finished with this today because I got to go to the store. So I actually listen to the audiobook as I'm walking to the store, walking back, doing the laundry and everything today. Got to fry some catfish later today.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. The lid with that.
So no, we're taking the whole thing. Yeah, so I'm just setting up for today. But yeah, I should be done by later today because it's only I'm literally at the 4-hour mark. So and once like 2.0 is just the speed of it. If anything, I'll be done at least like by 1:00 at the most.
Oh, okay. That's right around the corner. Yeah, see, I'm a 1.5 to 1.75 girly when it comes to audiobooks.
Same.
But not all audiobooks are created equal. I did have one audiobook that it was so slow. And it was supposed to be 13 hours, but it was extremely slow. So I was at like 2.0 speed and it felt like it was normal. So I don't know what that author was doing when they were
well, certain narrators like Robin Miles, you read her, you can literally put her on 2.0.
Yeah,
and she don't even sound fast to me. Yeah, but
you can't do that with the AI. The AI voice on them Kindle things. Like, I'll be like, okay, she sounds like she's squeaking.
Exactly.
What about you, Miss Kiana?
I got to page 55. My bookcase. Amazon.
There we go. You got prettiness in the house. Awesome. I'm surprised I haven't seen people doing like a live discussion about that book, or maybe I've missed it. Have y'all seen anybody?
I think Keita didn't. Well, it wasn't live though. I don't think. Let me check. I feel like I saw something on a channel for that book. What is it called again? What is that book called? I know it's by Candy Ryan, but I don't know what the title is. The book that you just put up.
Oh, this where I let go. Yeah,
Oh, that's the second one.
but this
Okay,
is the
yeah.
second one.
Keita, didn't you do a?
Yeah.
I feel like she did. Oh my God, didn't you do a live discussion for that
I
book,
think she did.
Keita?
You did? Okay.
No, I couldn't. But I do have the discussions.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
discussion questions.
Yeah, so I did the
Okay.
before I
oh,
let go discussion questions, and I did This Could Be Us, and then the Kennedy Ryan reads will be out tomorrow at
Okay.
9 a.m.
Awesome. Looking forward to that.
What about you, Miss Lachette? What'd you do?
I read 12 more pages of my book. I finally went and got my boiled eggs, which I had forgotten about. Uh,
What they
yeah.
look like?
What were
What?
they still boiling or just sitting there?
No, no.
Oh,
I was like, girl, the
Yeah,
building no eggs no more.
beyond boiled.
yeah. I wouldn't be here no more if they were still boiling. No, I'm not home alone, so they had turned it off a while ago. I had gone in there and put them in some cold water, and yeah, that was a while ago though. I just went to pick them up. I'm still not 100% sure where this story is going, but the two sisters, which I guess are the main characters, are sneaking through enemy camps to somewhere.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going. Uh, so from what I gather, they're in the middle of a war, and the Franks have been sieging the city of Akko, which is some port city, and these two girls were, I don't know, part of some group that were doing something. And the guy said, "Well, you can't stay here because you know the Franks and how they are with women, so y'all gotta go." And so they climbed the wall out of the city, and then they were sneaking through the enemy camp that had been sieging. So yeah,
It sounds
Very
atmospheric.
I'm
Yes.
into it.
Well, the way you explain it, it sounds good. I don't know if I read it, will it
Well, this
translate the
is
same way?
I never said Travelers Along the Way by Amina May Safi. This was the March book for the what the
The remix
remix
class.
classics read along. I just March was a lot, so I didn't get to it. I'm reading it now, and yeah, still not sure about the Robin Hood remix part yet, but I'm only up to page 26, so we'll see.
Right.
There we go. There we go. Okay. In the chat here, people are asking about your channels. I think y'all said y'all put them further down. So if y'all haven't, just put the @ symbol and then your channel name. So y'all look further down. Y'all probably already got it by the time I even got to this.
Yeah.
Flashbacks to the Psychopath by A.M. Edwards. That sounds not good. Kitty's letting go. Okay, drop the link. Yep, they're shut down below. Hello, lovely Charity. How are you doing today? Welcome. That was the last sprint, y'all. If y'all have just come in, by the way, that was the last sprint. So we're just finishing up some comments. We've done 2 sprints today, mostly talking, but it's been a good time. Sunday mornings are relaxed and chill and just, getting some lovely people on channel and just, talking about stuff, including books. It took it away. What do you mean it took it away? Did it come
I
off?
don't know. Yeah, took it off.
Okay, just type in like @ and then your channel name. It should be okay.
Oh, okay.
You can't click it, but people can go ahead and just copy and find it.
Yeah. No, Jaleesa went ahead and took care for all of ours. So I said next time I'll remember.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I hope everyone is good. I'm just joining, hoping to read The First Binding by R.R. Verdi. I like that name. I don't know what that's about. Let us know. Meet a mod. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and I don't know how YouTube assign mods. I don't know if I can do it.
You
Have
do
y'all
it.
tried that? Yeah, I can't assign mods.
They say
Yeah,
you
you
have to do it.
I think
Yeah.
you have to do it. Yeah.
I'll have to
Yeah,
take a look at YouTube. I will say
I
that I
know.
have not played with a lot of the options, but I know that you can do polls and stuff, but it has to go through YouTube. So I'll take a look at that.
Yeah.
Because I'll see random people, and then sometimes I'll go to people's chats. I'm like, how am I a mod?
Could be in the
Messing
settings
stuff
or
up. I'm
something.
kidding.
Mhm.
Cody has to do it since y'all. Okay, there we go. So everybody else here is more educated than me on that. Okay, that works. I will educate myself later. So to everyone, awesome. While y'all sub to the
Everybody
folks on
educated
screen,
tonight.
make sure you're subbing to the people in the chats as well. We got some lovely booktubers here. Lachette, yep, there we go, there we go, there we go. Jaleesa's hidden
Uh,
dimes. There we go. Y'all got all of them. Okay. Thank you, Jalisa. Much
Thank you,
appreciated.
Jaleesa.
yeah.
Hmm.
Let's see. Does anyone have mafia or crime fictional novels to recommend? Does
I
anyone?
am in a organized crime mood right now. Sitting here reading about Jesus, and in my head it went, I wish I was reading.
I was just about to
Look
say
it
that.
up.
I thought you were reading Christian fiction as well.
You gotta
It's for
balance
next
it.
month. I'm in the mood for next month. Well, I only have like three more books to read, and then I've hit my quota for this month. But I'm thinking, I want some. It's because I'm reading about Rome and what's his name? Pontius Pilate keeps popping up in the background every 5 minutes. So I'm like, yeah.
Are you
Uh,
looking for crime? Like crime is in like a cop type, like
No, no,
FBI crime, or just some
no,
crime history?
like Goodfellas,
Oh, oh no,
like
I don't know about that. Okay.
what's it called? Godfather, the
yeah,
Godfather.
Hmm.
Oh, nah.
That's
Yeah.
that's
heavy.
a big book. I don't plan on ever reading.
No.
I don't think I've even seen the movie all the way through.
The movie, yeah, it's long.
It
Yeah.
is, and there's more than one.
There is more than one. Um, at first I wanted to read about Rome, but I've got
Almost there.
Commodius on my reading list for this month as well. So I will be reading that. That hits the Rome stuff, but I think it's more the political intrigue in a mafia setting I want.
Mm, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I mean, back in the day when I used to read like KU Smut, I had some mafia romance stuff, but that's probably not your jam. What we
What I want right now. Don't say that in front of Jesus. Okay.
Okay, well, if y'all have some recs, make sure y'all send them to Kenny. Put them out in the chat there, okay? Hello, Miss Donna. How are you doing? Just here to hit the like button and follow some new people. Belly ache today, gonna lay down. Rest and drink plenty of water. Believe you me, it works. Rest soon. Everybody saying hi to Donna. Sorry you're not feeling. Yeah, that kind of sucks to not feel well, especially on the weekend. I'd rather not feel well during the week if I don't have to leave the house. Glasses messing with me now. Ooh. Oh, I gotta get
Oh,
some new glasses too, y'all. Oh, I got a new phone too, y'all. Look at that. I know this is lame, but I had a new phone. Looks like a tackle box. Got this little thing going on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm behind the times. I'll be like this. I don't have to
I
charge
don't
the
think that's
phone
what that's
all
for,
night.
Courtney.
That's what happens at night. But I'll be getting some new glasses shortly myself. I had to go to an eye exam and spend a lot of money on contacts and glasses. Oh, you know what's fun thing I found interesting, by the way, y'all? Okay, because a few of us are glass wearers, right? So, a lot of us order glasses like at the optometrist, right? So if you order glasses online, which are like dirt cheap, you can get like a full pair for like $15, right? There's this thing called a PD measurement, a pupillary distance measurement, right? So I looked at my prescription when I got it from the eye doctor, and it doesn't come on there. And the doctor claims it's an optician's job to measure that, because you don't even know they measure that when they fit you for the glasses. The thing is that is something that they use as a tool for the most part, to sell you glasses when you go to the optician. So they don't put that on the prescription. Now, the doctor can very well measure it, but they don't really give it to you if they're attached to an optician's office because they want you to buy glasses from them.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind. So if I would recommend you decide to buy glasses online, you really do need that measurement. There's a way to measure it, but I'm not going to trust my blind tail to measure in millimeters. um, but take a look at when they give you your prescription, because I looked at an old prescription I had. They said pretty much after adolescence, it really doesn't change. You're about all grown up. But I looked at my last prescription and it was listed on there. So I'm going to just use that measuring when I order online, because I can order like 2 or 3 pairs compared to just 1 or 2 at the doctor's office for the same price, you know? So just keep that in mind. You need a pupillary distance. It's called PD. Just dropping some knowledge, non-book. Shower sprint for me. Hey, you got to get clean, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Sorry to hear. Yeah, feel better for sure. Co-host, beautiful day. You have a beautiful rest of your day as well. I'm sure I'll see you around sprints. I got to handle some business after this, but I'll be around. Already saw, I think it's Katie that's, is it Katie or Heather? I don't know. Somebody else is already doing sprints, I saw. People.
Princess is in about an hour.
That's true. Prince, I think she's too because it's at my time. Yep. Princess is also doing sprints. I will definitely be there. That one pretty much watches my kitchen even if I'm not there. So that one will be on. Yeah. Jen didn't sprint yesterday though. I was looking for them. I'm like, where's Jen?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
they're not feeling good.
Yeah, because I went on there because Jen and Princess are like my staples, and everybody else is around. But yeah, okay. Looks like you have a full house. So, Bonnie was the other one that's supposed to come in.
Hey, Bonnie.
Oh. Hi, Bonnie. Okay, maybe next time. So, for any of y'all that are interested, I am doing another group sprints. I like Sunday morning sprints. Okay, I don't know if y'all like them, but y'all always welcome. I will be posting another one on the 14th because I don't work. So that's next Sunday if anybody's interested. Okay. I can have up to 6 people on screen without paying. I'm not trying to pay.
I was thinking about it.
I'll front load anybody that was not able to make it this time, you know, so in case. Hey Adrian. Hello. Yeah, we are all done with our sprints. We've been talking up a storm, having a little sister camaraderie. I'm all for that. Hello. Right, can't click on that. Courtney, you do it on YouTube. Go to the channel, click settings, community tab. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna play around with this little moderator settings here. Okay. So I got to finish Coda's review and play around with moderator settings. Okay. All right, y'all. We are towards the end of the sprint here. Let me know what y'all got going on this week. Any videos posting, anything y'all want to promote, as well as anybody in the chats. Feel free to put your stuff in the chats. But we'll start with Miss Kiana. What you got going on you want to talk about?
I don't have nothing going on.
I was like, well, we got this dramatic pause.
Dramatic pause.
What about IG? I know you got IG stuff
video
on.
soon.
I visit your IG channel more than anything.
I've been kind of busy with my daughter's competition season, and then my oldest is graduating, so we're kind of getting ready for that. So my content has slowed down.
Kiana's dropping money all over the place. That's what she's doing outside of book too.
Oh my God. Woo.
Hold on a sec.
But yeah, so
hi Cherie, thank
I
you
do a
very
video
much for joining. We're kind of at the last minute of this, but if you go further up, you'll see everybody's channels posted. Okay. All right. Okay, Keena, how about you with Miss Lovely Lady?
They're ready to go.
Yeah. Trying to rush me out of here. Say hi.
She got a jacket on.
How are you?
Oh,
Good.
hey,
Hey,
what's your name?
What's your name?
I'm Princess Livy.
Princess Livy.
Hey, Princess Libby. Well, welcome to BookTube. What are you reading?
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Say I'm learning to trace,
I wanted to trace. I did
and you learning your ABCs,
ABCs.
and you learning your shapes.
I wanted my face.
Yeah,
My heart.
yeah, yes. So
Excellent.
Oh,
yeah, she's doing a lot.
yeah.
Looking
I
good.
can
Ready
do
for
it.
Yes. Yeah. We go to the library.
Go to library.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool, but it was big.
Yeah. And we do the story times.
Story time.
Mm-hmm.
We do some computers.
And the computers and the toys.
Yes,
There
it
you
was
go.
in there.
Yes.
Take
Okay.
So
advantage.
you can play.
Yes. And then say hi to everybody in the chat. Say hi, chat.
Hi, cat.
Hey, how you doing, sweetie?
I'm fine.
So what else you got on besides mommy in?
Oh my God.
Mommy is hearing me.
Yes, I am. Just still gotta read some Star Wars books this month so I can put the videos out for next month. And soon as I'm done with this audiobook, I'm gonna be diving into some Star Wars, everything.
Uh,
This
So
everything.
yeah, because you know how mommy get, right?
I can get to.
Yes. So, for anybody in the chat that's a huge Star Wars fans, I'm just doing the phase 3 of the High Republic, all the novels,
oh,
the comic books, reading Dark Plagueis, reading Dark Disciple, also doing the Darth Bane series, and I believe I had added something else in there. So, yep, I'm swamped
Some pick.
for this month.
Um,
Mhm.
have you read the Thrawn trilogy?
Yes. I already all of that is on my last year. I did the 2 vlogs because I had to read. I think which one did I do? The last year I did the Ascendancy because I already had read the first the regular Throne, the Throne Alliance, and forgot the other one after that. And then I read Ascendancies last year, and I still have to read The Heir to the Empire. So I'm just kind of waiting that one out because
Uh,
I want to wait to any more movies or Ahsoka season 2 and
yeah,
stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
was,
that makes sense.
you're putting me to
I think
shame.
you
You
a
were supposed to
main
do that
skinny
last year.
J. Look at that big old
Yeah,
smile.
See?
I was supposed to I started the Heir of the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got Heir of the Empire straight through to Last Command, and
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the last one, what it's called, and the first Thorn book for the first ones. I was supposed to do that for Osaka. I started reading them and then didn't finish them.
And see the Throne and the Alliance kind of plays into the Ahsoka series. So
Yeah,
good thing I read that. And then the
so
Ascendancy, I think the Ascendancy trilogy might play into the Skeleton Crew part of it all when that one comes out. So I will have to see if there's a trailer for it, because I think that's more time. I think that's around that same time of them going into the Outer Rim. But
Oh, okay.
so
so
I've got to finish
everything
that.
that we see on screen right now has some significance to the books. So
Yeah,
that's why
which
I'm
Yeah.
reading.
which is weird because they said that none of it would be canon.
So they said like all the Black series is in canon, but then all of a sudden you're
They're
making it
canon.
canon.
Yeah,
And then if you're gonna name drop Heir to the Empire, I mean, come on, that's part of this. It's part of the Legend series, so
yeah.
you're gonna have to make it canon. So,
Maybe
um,
they just wanted to hedge their bets. Like,
yeah,
You ought
hmm
to do like a collab relating, talking about all this
Right.
from a
I
different
was gonna say the
perspective.
same
Like I
thing.
sense a collab coming on.
Yeah.
I know,
I think people would
right?
like that perspective. You don't normally see our perspective. Like I don't know anything about it, but you don't normally
Right.
see like our perspective from that. Like all the people you see don't
Yeah,
look like us that's ranting and raving that say they love it,
right.
but
Yeah,
clearly there's different, perspectives.
Yeah. And if anybody wants to hear more about the Star Wars, then just go to Spotify or any other podcast platform for Akita's Black Alliance. Because
Oh,
everything I do on is everything Star Wars, and I get very
okay.
nerdy. So
I need your socials. Give me your stuff.
Everybody.
huh?
Give me your socials.
Oh, okay. I will.
I'm new to Star Wars stuff because I'm I'm more Mandalore. Anything that has nothing to do with the Skywalkers, I'm all for. Um,
You're a Skywalker hater.
I, look,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
hate them. I just think their story is kind of boring. It's
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And I
Um,
mean, there's more meat to it, but just know that there's connections everywhere that involves the Skywalker at this point. But I think is a great time to be a Star Wars fans now because in the summertime we got the Acolyte coming on, and that's being
Oh.
led by Amanda Stenberg, black female led
yeah.
with
What?
Jodie Turner Smith in it. And then you
Oh.
also have Carrie Ann Moss who played Trinity. And trust me, those moves in there, we not doing this lightly. This is not
You're
light
gonna
work.
have the internet blowing up talking about
Yeah.
that
Oh,
one. You already know they're gonna
it
start
broke the
talking
Oh
about
my
internet.
goodness. It already
So,
is.
the fact that we have an all female led and is also being led by a female director who did the Russian doll, this is a great time to be a fan now.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be taking care of all of that on my podcast platform, but I'll put it in the social before I leave.
it. Okay. Awesome.
Uh,
And then everybody here is on IG if y'all want to get in contact with folks, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, Miss Kenny, what's going on in your life?
I'm still working on that three body problem script. I've started Death's End. I've finished the TV series, um, but that's going to take a
Mm-hmm.
while for that to come out. So I need Kiana and Courtney. You guys tagged me in like tag stuff before, and I didn't get around to doing them. So I'm gonna fill my channel with like book tags for a while, I think, so I have something to record.
Okay.
But the three body problem is the next big thing, and I need to decide whether or not
Oh.
I'm gonna spoil it in there.
Spoil away.
No way.
She said
No.
no.
Would you say no? Don't spoil it.
I said no way. I think that'd be good with a spoiler because you have, for one, I've never heard of this book until you talked about it, but you have this whole show that just came out. So it's a lot of momentum on
Yeah.
it. So like put the spoilers toward the end and say, hey, this is the timestamp of when spoilers start. But I think it'd be very good. I want a spoiler.
It is.
So
It's so good, and it's one of the few book adaptations that is adapted correctly. Like I love the way they adapted it to the TV screen. It's faithful to the book. Like all three books are faithful.
That's what I
Obviously,
wanted to
they
know.
changed some stuff to make it more Western, but it's just the character names and some of the characters are written into new characters, but everything is there. Everything is there from all three books. It's perfectly adapted. So
that's good. Yeah, I like when they're true to form to the books. I don't like a lot of creative license when it comes to adaptations.
like even lines from the book are in there.
That's
It's one of my favorite adapted things. Like that's how you're supposed to do it. You can change stuff, sure, but that's how you're supposed to do it.
mhm.
Okay, so we got Miss Jaleesa. What's going on in your life?
Well, I'm still reading A Little Life. I hope to finish it. I hope to finish it this month.
Hey, you're gonna be doing that forever.
Yeah,
Well, you got a whole month. You got 300 pages left. You can
I
knock
keep telling
that out.
myself, Julissa, I need to sit down. I've been like watching a lot of TV, so that's how I know I need to take a break from reading. But I'm gonna finish that this month.
Mhm.
Of course, I'm reading Cirque Berserk. What else? I've been debating whether or not to do like a live wrap up for March because I know if you all have have seen me in the comments on Courtney's channel, I've been not necessarily complaining, but voicing my opinion about a couple of books I didn't really care for too much. So I want to talk a little bit more about them because I had to get off my chest. So I may talk about those, maybe a live wrap up instead of me sitting down, and then recording and editing. I just want to do it a little bit differently and then see where it goes. I too have to do some book tags. I see them. I just need to sit down and do them. That's the thing. So yeah, look out for that though. Most likely a live will be happening in April. I promise. I'm not gonna lie like I did last month. Because last month I was like, yeah, we're gonna do a live, and I didn't do it.
Those premieres be getting me though. Like Keita, I think you've had a few. No, was it a Tia?
Oh yeah, it was premiere.
Somebody had a premiere, but it seems like all those comments go away. Like I'll be sitting there with somebody's premiere, and I'm typing and talking and stuff, and then it's like once it's done, it's like I was never there.
Right.
No, I was here for like 20 minutes.
Really?
And then if the person isn't there, like sometimes we schedule, so you're not necessarily there when your video goes live, but it's like, does the other person see that I was here?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Sometimes I try to be there for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't schedule stuff because of that. Like I've done a few premieres, and once I realized that, I was like, I don't really like this idea. Because if I can't be there, then it's like, like a premiere is nice if you want to give like feedback at the time. It's nice to interact. It's almost kind of like a live, but it's good to interact because I'll be like, oh, that looks good. Did you, I'll talk about little snippets, versus like a video where you just do comments. But I hate that the comments don't, it's like it's done afterwards. So I don't know. Whatever. Hit the like button if y'all do it, and maybe leave a comment afterwards. Just, hey, I was here, like in the actual comments. I think I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, let me know when your live is, and I will definitely try my best to be there.
Yeah.
Talk some trash about books. I'm all for it.
All right, get ready, because you know me, I'll be cutting up. I don't be cared at all. I'm gonna be sweet and nice to the author. I'll be sweet and nice, but if I didn't like your book, you gonna know.
Hey, this is about honesty. These authors can remember the one you were talking about, Kenny, where they started shouting some stuff. Go right ahead. Maybe they were trying to get some more publicity because that's a way to get some attention. But true. I don't intentionally go out of my way to incite negative attention to myself.
Sorry, I just had an ice cream truck.
Ooh, I ain't heard one of those decade.
Girl, I be running. I do that in the summertime. I'll literally be like, I gotta go. Let's sprint. I've done that.
We're brainwashed. We're brainwashed. Stood down the stairs last time and ended up the next. We're brainwashed for ice cream trucks.
Are you done now?
She's like, it's time to go. Okay, let's check your turn.
Fair warning to all the new followers. My channel is not strictly bookish related, so the next video has nothing to do with books. I refuse to have separate channels. But I'll probably this week finally put up my February wrap up. March has been a lot personally, so I had videos filmed, but I had to put them aside and not edit for personal to take care of life things. So a lot of seemingly late stuff will go up. But yeah, my February wrap up. Maybe I should do live. I never thought about doing a wrap up live.
We can do it together because I'm there too.
Yeah, maybe the March one.
Yeah, I hate wrap
Say
up.
that again, Jaleesa.
No, I said we can do it together because I'm not consistent with wrap ups. I don't know why. I guess in my mind I'm like, if you follow me on Goodreads and Storygraph, you know what my thoughts are because I usually put it there. Or if you even go to my blog, you'll see it. So it kind of feels like I'm doing things over and over again. But I too am going to be doing a live for the wrap up for March. So if you want to do something together, we can. I don't know how long it'll be because I think I read maybe 12 to 14 books last month. And if you read the same amount, we're going to be live for hours. And I talk a lot.
Yeah, I didn't read that much this month.
But it would be fun.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll talk.
Right.
But,
Yeah, websites are always interesting. That's why
yeah,
I don't go into a lot of
we'll
details when
talk
it comes to a
later.
TBR if I post a
I only
TBR.
do wrap ups occasionally. I'll do tags. I just don't. I'm a mood reader, so making a TBR is pointless
I
Yeah,
to
it's
feel
a
like
me.
lot.
I'm lying.
Like, and I'm not gonna sit and make sure my hair is done to talk about books that I probably won't read, and
Mm,
then edit it and post.
yep.
That's a
I
lot of time for no reason.
I'm
So I
actually
don't do TBRs
doing
at
TBRs
all.
because I feel like I'm lying.
Yes.
I'm
Like,
Yeah,
lying.
Yeah.
I
that's
only
that.
do
Or
TBRs
if
if I'm
I'm
doing
not
readathons.
lying, I'll spend the whole month.
you spend a whole
Yeah,
month.
I'll tentatively do ones
Mm.
for readathons, but I don't post them. It's just in my head, like maybe if this fits. But
Hmm.
like when I say mood read, I'm like if I watch BookTube, then I'm in the mood for whoever's video I watched, and I want to watch that video. I want to read that book that they talk about in their video now. Like
Mm.
my mood is that changeable, and if life stuff happens, then all that goes out the window.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just be stressed and it becomes an assignment. Like, oh, I have to read this because I said I was going to, and
No,
that's
like I say,
no.
I'm not in
This
school
is
like
about my enjoyment. That's not enjoyable.
mm-mm. No.
Feels like schoolwork.
I don't want to feel like I'm back in school. I got my degree. I'm done.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Feel like you in school.
Yeah, that's why I call it power possibilities.
It's
But
me
I don't
on
go as in
camera.
depth in there like I used to. Because some people go into a whole big synopsis when they do their TBR and then the whole big thing afterwards. So I keep a TBR like very simple, like a 1 or 2 line blurb about what this book is about. This book is about these people at this school and the murder happened. They try to figure out what happened. Simple as that.
Talking about school, I finally own and I've read half of Treasure Island, the book that I was assigned when I was 8 years old in
Oh,
Oh, okay.
school to read. I'm finally gonna read it.
Hey, better late than never, Kitty.
right. Got around to it.
Did you like it?
Excuse me.
It's all right. It's Treasure Planet, so it's fine.
Got it done. Okay, we're gonna get out of here. We got to everybody, right? I think yeah.
Except you.
Yeah. Oh well. I sprint on Tuesdays, 11 a.m. EST during the day. Do I work this week? Hold up. I'll be back here next Sunday, same time, 8:30 a.m. So, if y'all interested, I'll be messaging you, or I might just create a group thing so whoever goes in there. But I want to moderate it to make sure everybody that gets a link and go. But so I am working on Wednesday and Thursday, so I definitely won't be sprinting on Thursday. So it'll probably be a pop-up sprint on Friday. If not, then Sunday will be it. So anyway, I have a video coming out next Saturday. I have videos come out on Saturday morning. So if y'all care to take a look at those, then that's about it. So I'm around. I check in with folks all the time. So that's it. Trying to stay sane and all that jazz. So
Amen. Life is hard.
exactly. Read your books, enjoy them. Let the rest of the outside world take care of itself and call it a day with that. So. Anyway, okay, well, let's get out of here. This has been a good time. I appreciate it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Just shooting, chatting, all that stuff. Very laid back Sunday. Thank y'all for
Thanks for
waking
having us.
up with us. Oh,
Thank
no
you.
problem. No problem. Anytime.
Thank
Good
you.
time. So hope to see everybody.